San Diego Chargers. And welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck along with Troy Aikman. This has been a season, or at least an off-season of change for the Dallas Cowboys. They've got Bledsoe. They've got a new defensive system. They had a good draft. It's going to be interesting to see how they come out of the gate here this afternoon.
Well, it really is, Joe, because they're going to be relying on a lot of young players. And I think then when you look at what they're going to try to do offensively, there's no question that Bill Parcells going into this season wants to be able to go back to running the football. But I think that this game's going to come down to how well Drew Bledsoe throws the football, because this is a very porous secondary for the San Diego Chargers, and I think that's where the matchup is going to be favorable for Dallas.
There's only one team across the NFL that can say they're bringing them all back, all 22 starters, and that's the San Diego Chargers. So I guess consistency, and what? They were 12-4 a year ago. Not bad.
Well, they do have everybody back, with the one exception of Antonio Gates. He will not be playing today, and I don't think you can overstate how much they're going to miss him. But anytime Marty Schottenheimer's on the sidelines as a head coach, they want to run the football. They certainly have the best in the game, and LaDainian Tomlinson, he's healthy, he feels good. He's expecting a big day here today.
Marty getting them ready to go on the sideline, and they were champions a year ago. Champions in the AFC West, and then that overtime loss to the New York Jets in the postseason. Julius Jones and company ready to go, and we're glad you're with us today on Fox. It's been an interesting opening day, and all you have to do is look at the out-of-town scores to figure that out. I mean, there are some serious surprises across the NFL, and we'll get into that as our day goes along. There's the guy regarded as the best in the business now, LaDainian Tomlinson. We're glad you're with us. Off we go. Marion Barber will start with it for the Cowboys. And he crosses the 30, knocked down at the 32. Game break already. We just got going. Here's James Brown.
Joe, take a look at it. Fitting into the Carolina Saints game, John Carney boots a 47-yarder with just 3 seconds left on the clock. They hold on to win it. Jim Haslett said we would win this game coming into it. They win it by the skin of their teeth over Carolina, 23-20. Back to Joe Buck.
All right, JB. So an emotional win for the New Orleans Saints and for their many fans as we start the day with a handoff to Julius Jones. And on first down, which is such an important down to these Cowboys, they pick up 12. Let's take a look at the lineups. And offensively, an offensive line that features a guy, Troy, that used to play when you played. How about that, Larry Allen?
Yeah, Joe, and he had struggled a little bit in recent years, but he had a great offseason, and they feel like this is a year that he can play back to the form that they're accustomed to seeing of him.
Pro Bowler Jason Witten in the year he had last year, 87 catches. This game could have featured two of the best tight ends in the business. Play action, first official throw for Bledsoe. Gets it to Jones out of the backfield. Chased by Lieber, knocked down after a pickup of 2. Take a look at the defense, and it's a 3-4 system, something that the Chargers settled into about midway through last season. And Troy, if there's one matchup to look at, it's Jamal Williams, who's one of the best nose tackles in the business, against a guy, Al Johnson, who gives up 50 pounds in that matchup today.
Joe, that's a big concern for Bill Parcells coming into this game. How well is Al Johnson going to hold up against Jamal Williams? There's a good chance we could see Andre Girard come in if Al Johnson has some problems.
So that secondary, they were average at best last year. Blitz coming from the Chargers, and Bledsoe flips it to the sideline. Incomplete. Keyshawn Johnson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up third down and long for the Cowboys.
Well, there's no question that Drew Bledsoe's wanting an opportunity here in Dallas to prove that his better days are not behind him. He feels very confident coming into this system, of course, being reunited with Bill Parcells, Terry Glenn, and then this past week they brought in Peerless Price, who's inactive here today, but he likes the weapons that he's got. It's all going to come down really to whether or not this offensive line can protect him.
3rd and 8. Bledsoe flips it. Jones makes a move, looking for the first down, and he's got it for Dallas. A 14-yard gain, and Bledsoe hung in there and found Julius Jones for the first down.
Yeah, and because Drew Bledsoe's not a guy who really has much mobility, he's going to hang in the pocket and wait for guys to get open for him. He's looking downfield, waiting for someone to get open over the middle, but he has the presence to find Julius Jones and get the ball out and avoid the sack.
Donnie Edwards had a chance to bring Jones down shy of the first down marker. Couldn't make the open field tackle. And another Dallas first down. Handoff is to Jones, and Jones is met at the line of scrimmage. Terrence Keel was in there. Ben Lieber, no gain. If there's one thing, though, that you worry about or wonder about with Drew Bledsoe, here's a guy that's been pummeled over the last 3 years up in Buffalo, and they start talking about pocket presence, hanging on to the ball too long, looking at the pass rush because he's been hit so much, and that's got to be a concern this season for the Cowboys.
There's no question it's a concern, and typically when you look around the league, the pocket passers are the guys who are getting sacked the fewest amount of times. It's usually the more mobile quarterbacks that are absorbing a lot of sacks, but Drew Bledsoe has taken an enormous number of hits in recent years.
On second down, the ball is lost, and the Chargers have it. Lieber falls on top of it. The center quarterback exchange, and something that Bill Parcells thought would be behind him, bringing in a veteran like Drew Bledsoe. That's a Quincy Carter type mistake.
Well, you take a look at Jamal Williams here, 76. He's the guy that sometimes when you put a big man over the center has a tendency to short arm the snap back to the quarterback. It doesn't look like the ball ever quite got back into the hands of Drew Bledsoe, and you'd think that at this stage in the preseason you wouldn't be putting the ball on the ground.
So Al Johnson didn't get it into Bledsoe's hands, and the Chargers take over with the ball resting at their own 33. Brees opens up with a throw, and he hits his wide receiver, Eric Parker. Parker gets 7. It was the year of a career, maybe, for Drew Brees. Everybody was waiting for him to get benched in place and be replaced by Phillip Rivers. But how about that? The fewest interceptions in the NFL last year. He was outstanding in the red zone, and he was the biggest reason why this team got to 12-4.
Yeah, and I asked him the other day if there was a game early in the season as to when he knew that it was in fact his team, and he really believed that it was his job to lose throughout the entire training camp and regular season.
Evidently wasn't getting the morning paper. Tomlinson gets a first down. All LaDainian Tomlinson wants this season is to pick up 2,200 yards.
That's all.
That's it. Set an NFL record. Well, if he does, it's going to be because of this group, which really came together last year under the direction of Hudson Houck, who has left for the Miami Dolphins. Hardwick is in the middle of it. We'll talk about some of these guys as this day wears on. They're playing with Justin Peele starting at tight end because Antonio Gates is on the roster exempt list after that contract holdout and the letter that was sent to the league office, which forced him to miss 3 games. Brees fires, McCardell the catch, and Keenan picked up 9.5. About the defense for the Cowboys, they go to a 3-4, and their defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer has never coached a 3-4. And Troy, I'll ask you, if you were facing a team that was switching to this type system, where would you go to try to pick on it?
Well, I think you've got to test the rookie DeMarcus Ware and see how good is he going to be when he's forced to get back into pass coverage. He's still a young guy regardless of how talented he is.
Second down and less than a yard. They hand to the fullback Lorenzo Neal, and he's got a first down for the Chargers.
One of the things I like right now about what San Diego is doing offensively is they don't want to get down and pack the offense inside the hashes. They don't want to line up in a 2-back set tight end offense. They want to try to spread people out. We saw that 2 plays ago when they were able to get the ball into Keenan McCardell's hands, and so they've got some weapons. They don't have the matchup problems that they would have had Antonio Gates been playing, but they still got some players that they feel match up good against this Cowboys defense.
Had the 13 touchdowns last year, an NFL record for tight ends, and he got a 6-year deal. But it came late. Tomlinson over the right side. LaDainian is wrapped up after he picked up 5 on a first down carry.
You know, I think so many times when you're a running back, you feel really good when you've got someone in front of you who's going to be blocked. And this is Lorenzo Neal, who's coming across 41. And then you see LaDainian Tomlinson get in behind him. And because of the block there by Lorenzo Neal, it was able to get LaDainian a few extra yards.
That win on the tackle, 2nd down and 5. Extra offensive lineman is in, Chris Dielman for the Chargers. Brees with all day fires to a wide open receiver. That's Parker, and that's another San Diego 1st down, an 18-yard completion.
Well, great protection by the San Diego Chargers. Tonu Finotti, their left guard, is going to pull out, and you see how he's able to make the key block on Al Singleton, which gives Drew Brees the time to step up in the pocket. And when you have that kind of time, it gives these wide receivers the ability to get separation. Easy completion for Drew Brees.
This is not a good first series for this new 3-4 for the Dallas Cowboys. They get rolled over. Tomlinson cuts it back and dives his way to the 15-yard line, got 4. You look at the red zone offense, and a reason why this San Diego Chargers team was so good inside the 20 was simply the play of their quarterback, Drew Brees. Inside the red zone, the guy threw 20 touchdowns and 1 interception.
I think part of Drew Brees' biggest maturation last year was he really learned how to play the quarterback position in terms of what are down and distances, when do I take my shots, when do I force throws, and the red zone is where we've noticed it the most.
Brees to the end zone. It's behind McCardell, and a penalty flag comes in. Terrence Newman was on the coverage for the Cowboys.
That was a pretty good route. If Drew Brees leads him, you don't even have to worry about the penalty. There is contact there. Drew Brees, if he leads him up to that upside shoulder, it's a touchdown.
On the play for pass interference. 3rd down.
So the Chargers, thinking they're going to get a 1st and goal from the 1, are handed a, we're picking that thing up.
Yeah, and I think it was pass interference. After 5 yards, you can't make contact. As we talked about last year, that's a point of emphasis for these officials that they have carried into this 2005 season. Terrence Newman, who struggled last year, he admitted that he lost his confidence. He had an excellent training camp, but I think he got away with one there.
3rd down and 6. Hand off to Tomlinson on 3rd and 6. Bounces it outside. Tomlinson picks up a 1st down. They needed 6. They hand it to LT, and they get 7.
Well, and what a luxury this San Diego Chargers offense has. When 3rd and 6, typically you're throwing the football, but here you're handing it off to LaDainian Tomlinson. The Cowboys have him stopped in the backfield, but that's why you got to wrap this guy up, and yet he's able to get to the outside and pick up a key 1st down.
DeMarcus Ware was manhandled by Shane Olivier on that run, which got the 1st down. First and goal. LT trying to make a move, and he's dragged down. It was Anthony Henry, a free agent pickup from the Cleveland Browns, who was out there in space and got enough of Tomlinson to bring him down and save the touchdown.
Joe, you touched a little bit earlier about this offensive line, and all the guys are back, and how many new faces there were a year ago. Tonu Finotti was the only guy who had been on the team coming into last year. Every guy along that offensive line started every game with the exception of their center, Nick Hardwick, and you can see it already here in this first possession paying off, that this is a group that is playing with confidence and playing with a tremendous amount of continuity.
2nd and goal. Tomlinson to the edge, to the end zone. Touchdown, San Diego. And LaDainian Tomlinson just tied a record that has stood since the middle 80s when John Riggins and then separately George Rogers did it after Riggins, with the Washington Redskins 13 consecutive games with at least 1 rushing touchdown.
And before his career is over, he's going to be tying a lot of records and breaking a lot of them as well. And, you know, again, the offensive line comes around. They just seal off the edges. Mike Goff comes around and gives a little space there for LaDainian Tomlinson on the score.
It is 7-0. The Chargers on top. An outstanding opening possession for the team that won the AFC West a year ago.
Southwest Airlines fun fares are available every day to your favorite destinations, starting at just $49.
You are now free to move about the country.
For thousands of years, mankind has known what lots of interior room can do for your spirit. A feeling so wonderful, we built an entire sedan around it. The Ford 500. Built for the road ahead.
Orville and Wilbur asked, "Can you fly 13 inches off the ground?" Tom and Jerry asked, "Can you bonk a cartoon mouse on the head and not hurt him?" The AFL and the NFL asked, "Can you have a bowl game that's super?" Now Sprint and Nextel ask, "Can you form a communications and entertainment company that provides more choice and flexibility than you ever imagined?" Sprint. Yes, you can.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40.
Well, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? We got LaDainian Tomlinson, a 2-yard touchdown run. San Diego last year 10-1 when they scored first. And this is the second half of a wild and a wacky first day of the NFL season. And I can't wait for you to explain to me how the Miami Dolphins put up 34 points on the Denver Broncos.
You're not putting that on me, are you?
That's all you. Marion Barber with his second return of the day, and he does not get back to the 20. He is dropped hard by Kasim Osgood. Second chance for Bledsoe. They turned it over the first time. Now they trail 7.
So what seems to be the problem?
Well, I think he's in shock.
What happened?
Well, there's this promotion on his bottle.
Well, the defense can sit and think and wonder how the rest of this day is going to go after the San Diego Chargers just marched right over them. 7-0. San Diego on top. Bledsoe steps up and now wants to run. Well, he didn't want to run, but he has to run. And Drew picks up 8. Let's go back to the touchdown by Tomlinson.
Yeah, you got DeMarcus Ware here, the rookie, and what happens is he's got contain on this defense, but he collapses too much, and so once he does, that gives the room to the outside there for LaDainian Tomlinson, and that's why when he came off the field, Mike Zimmer, the defensive coordinator, was over there talking to him. DeMarcus Ware is an extremely talented, gifted guy, but he's still going through the growing pains that rookies do.
Julius Jones, first down Dallas, but a penalty flag comes in. It's in the area of a hold, and it is a hold against Dallas. An 8-yard gain will be wiped out.
Holding. Number 39, offense. 10-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Lusaka Polite, who is now the fullback for Julius Jones.
And if you're the Dallas Cowboys, in the way that San Diego got their opening possession and took the ball down the field and was able to punch it in for the touchdown, and not just getting the touchdown, Joe, but the way in which they were able to do it, I tell you, Mike Zimmer and Bill Parcells have got to be a little bit concerned. We've talked a little bit about the fact that they are going to a new defensive scheme, a 3-4 scheme. But Bill Parcells felt good coming into this game about their ability to hold up against the run.
So instead of a first down on that carry by Jones, the penalty makes it second down and 11. Penalty flag, and it looked like this is going to be against Dallas for leaving the line too soon. Donnie Edwards made the stop, a loss of 1 on the play, but they blew that thing dead.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 79, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
How many guys in that huddle want to look over at the sideline right now and look at Bill Parcells?
Well, not Rob Petiti. I mean, that's the rookie offensive tackle. Wasn't even projected to be the starter when training camp began. And yet here he is in his first NFL game, and he's starting at right tackle against one of the better defensive teams in the National Football League. And so obviously he's a little anxious, a little skittish up there at the line. It's loud here at the stadium right now. He's just got to try to settle in a little bit.
They did it again. That's Witten. They're going backward. End up in the parking lot.
False start, number 82, offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That's a Qualcomm Stadium 70,000 seat capacity penalty on the Dallas Cowboys on back-to-back plays, and the third straight play with a penalty on Dallas.
Now, there was a problem for this team throughout preseason. It was actually even a problem for this team last year. And so far, when you have 3 consecutive penalties, as they have had in this drive, I mean, that certainly hurts your offense.
Second down and 20. And Bledsoe's going to go down. A flag is in on the play. Bledsoe goes down at the 1. Steve Foley, who had such a huge year last year, came in to make the tackle on Bledsoe. And this is in the area of a hold against Dallas.
Now Foley's coming off the right edge there, and you can see they probably got Flozell Adams for a hold. He's just a speed guy.
Number 76, penalties decline, third down.
And that's exactly who they got. Flozell Adams at left tackle. When you put a speed guy over him, he doesn't have great quickness to be able to come out of his stance and block a guy with the abilities of a guy like Steve Foley.
Dallas will just try to get some breathing room. And to do that, they hand to Jones another flag. The umpire threw it. Jones doesn't get a first down anyway. But it's another play, another flag, and it's against Dallas yet again.
Holding, number 52, offense, half the distance to the goal, third down.
Well, they got the trifecta right now. I mean, they got Petiti, and then they got Al Johnson, and they had Flozell Adams. And so not any one guy, but you know, every time you try to make a play to get off to the goal line here and give yourself a little bit of room. Right now, all Dallas is trying to do is give themselves some room to make a punt. They just keep going backwards.
That's 5 straight flags against the Cowboys. A safe throw to Keyshawn Johnson just to give their punter, Matt McBriar, some room to punt. And that is in the category of probably the safest throw they have in their playbook.
Well, it was a good call there, like you said, just trying to give your punter a little bit of room to maneuver back there in the end zone. But when you have those kinds of penalties, when you have false starts, lack of concentration, when you've got guys who are holding, generally, like what happened with Flozell Adams, just poor technique. You're not getting out of your stance, and you're not getting in proper position.
Little Darren Sproles, 5'6", 181, is waiting, and it's a shank. And Sproles is wise to just get away, and the Chargers will take over just on their side of midfield. It's been a bad 10 minutes for the Dallas Cowboys. San Diego gets the ball back, and they lead by 7.
For thousands of years, mankind has known what lots of interior room can do for your spirit. A feeling so wonderful, we built an entire sedan around it. The Ford 500. Built for the road ahead.
48 degrees today in the Boston area with some light clouds and possible late issue.
You guys have to go everywhere with me? Tom, we're figurative metaphors.
What?
We represent the 5 layers of Visa security that surround you in a pocket of protection.
Hi there.
Like fraud monitoring?
Verified by Visa.
Zero liability.
Metaphors.
With Visa, you're protected.
Can metaphors pay?
No.
Hi, I'm Jerry Jones. If you're like me, you can't get enough football. Of course, if you were like me, you'd have an owner's box, a field pass, and a 12-person hot tub shaped like Texas Stadium. That's right. And you'd have VCast from Verizon Wireless. I like to watch clips of my favorite players. I love football.
VCast takes entertainment to a whole new place. It's broadband quality sports clips and more, where and when you want. And right now, a cool LG 8100 is just $99.99, only from Verizon Wireless.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by the spacious Ford 500, built for the road ahead. By Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. By State Farm, great service, great rates. That's why 40 million drivers trust State Farm. And by VCast from Verizon Wireless. It's broadband quality video on your phone.
You owe it to yourself as an NFL fan to remember next preseason when teams are going through their games that the results, individual and team, mean nothing. Ben Roethlisberger starts the season with a perfect quarterback rating after having a horrible preseason. Clinton Portis and the Redskins outlast the Bears and Steve Smith. Panthers lose in overtime at the hands of the New Orleans Saints, but Smith welcome back. Brees flushed out and just gets rid of it. They're trying to set up a screen to Tomlinson. Set overtime for the New Orleans-Carolina game. A 47-yard field goal by Carney ended it with 3 seconds left.
You know, how about Ben Roethlisberger and, you know, all the people talking about, is he going to be able to play at the level that he did a year ago? And
sophomore slump.
And I mean, it's going to be hard to say that he can play better and put up better numbers. And here he comes out in the first game and has a perfect quarterback rating.
Chargers have played a lot of this first quarter with an extra offensive lineman. And it's Chris Dealman, that guy, the big guy in motion. Brees fires on the run, and it's incomplete from a Cardell. JB is standing by with a game break. Hello, JB.
Hello, Joe Buck. And you know, Eli Manning's life would be easier with a healthy Jeremy Shockey, as is the case here. 20-yard strike, 7-0 Giants over Arizona in the first. Joey Harrington, we know the pressure that's on him to deliver this year. Hooking up with a 9-yard touchdown pass to tight end Marcus Pollard, formerly of the Colts. 8 plays, 68 yards. Ends up 7-0 back. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman at the full year.
It is definitely a new year. 3rd down and 10. Blitz coming from Williams and a sack. Williams was joined by Greg Ellis. A loss of 14, and there's the Dallas defense stepping up when it had to, even though this is only the first quarter.
Well, you're going to see Roy Williams. He's going to be coming off the edge here, and Roy Williams last year admits that he did not play particularly well, but he's at his best when he's up around the line of scrimmage and they allow him to bring pressure. And as we saw there, he can get to the quarterback, he can create problems, and that time San Diego wasn't prepared for it.
Patrick Creighton is waiting deep. From about the 17, runs into his teammate. That was a great tackle by Ryan Fowler. So the Cowboys defense, a much better series. Bledsoe and company back to work. Creighton, this is your teammate Fowler. Cowboys have the ball. With the Dallas defense, after a terrible first series, getting rolled over, watching their offense go backward. Had a 3 and out and got pressure on Brees for the first time today. Fighting his way back to the line of scrimmage is Julius Jones. Good tackle there by the umpire.
You won't get off of him.
Little fight
that was
after
a wrestling
the play.
move, wasn't it?
Speaking of fighting, how about Kasim Osgood and the attention he drew from Anthony Henry on his way down the field?
I think he went over to Marty Schottenheimer and said, "Coach, this isn't what I signed up for when I came here to San Diego."
And Marty said, I'm 8th on the all-time win list, kid. Get out of my face. 2nd and 10. The old-fashioned sweep. And there's nothing out there. You know, the baseball season is still going on. A fun month of September. Playoff chases, division races, and the wild card. Thank goodness for the wild card. Major League Baseball. Next Saturday on Fox Saturday Baseball, Braves and Mets. Cards and Cubs, Phillies at the Marlins. Late Dodgers and Giants. And here in San Diego, they're starting to count down and looking at magic numbers for the Padres, which at last check was 16. Terry Glenn was circled, but Patrick Creighton makes the catch. Stays on his feet, lost the ball, and amazingly got it back. They love Patrick Creighton, and you can see why. Great hands, good blocker, and a gain of 32 yards.
They really do, Joe. He can do it all. He's running a slant here, but based on the coverage that the Chargers had, they should have covered this thing up. We saw Quentin Jammer just allow him to come off the ball, gave him an easy lane in for the slant. Drew Bledsoe gave him a ball that he could catch. He caught it in stride and made a big gain on it, but Quentin Jammer's got to be more physical in that coverage on that route.
Showed better hands on the fumble recovery than he did on the catch, and now Julius Jones plows forward for 4. A big story toward the end of camp and before the beginning of the regular season was the addition of Peerless Price. He's still learning things, still learning the offense. He's not active today. And one school of thought was, why would they sign Price? Because it's going to take away from the time that Patrick Creighton can be on the field.
Yeah, and I don't know that it will. I think Patrick Creighton has kind of solidified his position within this offense. I think that they were more concerned with Terry Glenn. He has not had an ability to stay healthy throughout much of his career, and they wanted a little bit of an insurance policy for that.
2nd down and 6. Blitz coming from Keel. They hand to Jones. He runs away from the blitz, and Julius Jones has a first down at the 31. Picked up 12. And this is a first quarter that's going to end with the Dallas Cowboys starting to get on a roll. They trail by 7 to last year's AFC Western Division champion, the San Diego Chargers. They get out to the 7-0 start. Dallas on the march. And I guess that's humidity. Either that or your plasma screen is going nuts at home. I didn't think there was humidity here in San Diego. First down for Dallas, down by 7. We start the second quarter. And what a catch. That's Glenn. Terry Glenn took it off the top of the grass and picks up 14 yards. That was nice.
Well, it was, and it was a good design there by the Dallas Cowboys and what they're doing offensively. They spread everybody out, get them into man-to-man, but then as you see there, Quentin Jammer breaks coverage. You see Donnie Edwards running with Jason Witten. Quentin Jammer comes off of it, but he should have been on Terry Glenn, and that's why Terry Glenn was as open as what he was.
Julius Jones got to the 15, and that was it. Picked up 2. You know, Drew Bledsoe is number 8. He's number 8 trying to replace number 8. The Cowboys have gone through Quincy Carter, Anthony Wright, Clint Sterner, hold your ear San Diego, Ryan Leaf, Chad Hutchinson, Vinny Testaverde, Drew Henson, and now it's Bledsoe. All trying to replace, whether it's a UCLA jersey or a Dallas jersey, Troy Aikman. And Bledsoe is the most established of that group to try and do it. A blitz, a screen, and Julius Jones had a hand on him. Cesare. There was pressure by Foley on the play. And Troy will break this one down.
Well, yeah, you take a look here at Steve Foley, and he has become a heck of a pass rusher, and he's coming around the outside. You see Rob Petiti, the rookie tackle, looking inside. Because of the speed of Foley, he gets on him late. And that's why Drew Bledsoe had to unload the ball. And Steve Foley came on last year and led the team in sacks and has become one of the dominant players in the National Football League in a relatively short period of time.
3rd down and 8. Play clock is down to 3, 2. They didn't get it off. come on. Number 8 replacing number 8. Can't have a delay game.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
What's going on?
Well, that's all on Drew Bledsoe right there. When the play comes in and you're going up to the line of scrimmage, when you're down here in the red zone, there are times that you'll let the play clock run down, but this is not one of them. And Drew Bledsoe just lost sight of the play clock and how much time was left on the clock. But that's just a mental error on Drew Bledsoe's part.
Sean Payton, the assistant head coach. It's 3rd and 13 now. Over the middle, it's Creighton again. Patrick Creighton, touchdown Dallas. They've learned to love Jason Witten in Big D, and they are going to enjoy watching number 84, Patrick Creighton, work this year.
Well, Patrick Creighton has really been a pleasant surprise for this Cowboys offense. A quarterback in college. He's made the transition to wide receiver, has the best hands on the team, and you're going to see him coming in on the right side of the screen. He runs a little stutter move there on Donnie Edwards, and that's why he was able to create the separation and get into the end zone.
Cortez knocks it through. Creighton showing his great hands, great balance, fought his way into the end zone. Bledsoe has his first touchdown throw as a Dallas Cowboy. They can thank Patrick Creighton for getting it in. And the Dallas Cowboys offense rebounded from that terrible series. The offensive line, one problem, one mistake, one flag after another. And Creighton was a big part of that drive. He gets the 20-yard touchdown catch, and Wade Phillips is talking to his defense, and in particular Donnie Edwards along the sideline as the Chargers are about to get it back. Career touchdown pass number 222 for Drew Bledsoe. One of the up men from the 9, Eric Parker, takes the kickoff and gets to the 24. You can buy him Rolexes, you can buy him isotoner gloves. Whatever you do, you gotta thank the guys who protect you. There's the veteran Drew Bledsoe thanking his offensive line. 7-7.
For years, truck beds have suffered
and doesn't quit. You know, that's one of the things that he's always been able to do, playing a new position this year. He also had some conversations with Warren Sapp this year about moving outside. He's always been a predominant inside player, but he's just trusting in the system. And that got him a sack there.
Think outside the bun.
Toyota trucks moving forward.
Since 1978, the Hawaii Ironman's 140-mile human blast furnace has scorched the circuitry of the world's fittest athletes, like pro triathlete Chris Lee.
In the 97 race, I was so dehydrated, my body just shut down with 50 meters left.
6 years of setbacks landed Chris at the Gatorade Sports Science Institute. With a new hydration strategy in hand, Chris snapped the tape at the 2004 Ironman Coeur d'Alene.
I guess your stuff works.
And that's the stuff of legends.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough. Fullness from a value menu.
Please, thank you. I have an announcement. I'm full!
Taco Bell's Big Bell Value Menu, featuring the half-pound beef combo burrito with double the beef. To keep your stomach and your wallet full, think outside the bun.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by the new Sprint. Sprint, yes you can. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher, it's in the NFL. Is it in you? And by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward.
Play call sheet for the Chargers. Too bad others couldn't witness watching you and Drew Brees talk about your favorite plays. 525 F post. I love that play. Me too. Pass is incomplete, and it was Parker making a move on the ball to take it away from Terrence Newman, who had good coverage.
If we go back to the touchdown play, what you're going to see is these two safeties are going out to the outside, and they're doubling the outside. So now you got Patrick Creighton, who's going to come here and run a double move, and that's what gets Donnie Edwards in coverage, because the middle of the field is wide open based on the play of the safeties, and once he's able to create separation on Donnie Edwards, there's just nobody left there to make a play.
Second and 10. There's the rookie Ware. A loss of 1. Takes down LT.
You can see DeMarcus Ware, they run at him. A lot of times when you've got a young player, you want to challenge him a little bit. DeMarcus Ware has great speed, so rather than run away from him, run at him and see how he handles a lead blocker up in his face. He handled it pretty well there. You talk to people about DeMarcus Ware, he's extremely gifted. He's still learning the mental angles of this defense.
Brees with good protection, and the pass is intercepted. The newcomer Henry. After a terrible defensive year last year, the Dallas Cowboys drafted Ware, Spears, Burnett, Canty. They signed Ferguson, Glenn, and Anthony Henry. Henry gets the interception. Good field position, Dallas.
This one also good, 6-0 Rams. So St. Louis kept out of the end.
On the quarterback, Manning, fourth drop on first down, the pass incomplete. Intended for Plaxico Burress and thrown low. This is the Giants' third possession of the game.
Look at that Arizona defense. You saw them getting gashed there a little bit, Sam, by the running game of the New York Giants. But this defense is, as I talked about before, a fast break defense. And they can make things happen. They were extremely good in the red zone last year. They're a team that can get after you. The quarterback, Bertrand Berry, last year, second in the NFL in sacks.
Manning checking off at the line. Has time to throw off the hands of Tyree and intercepted by Carlos Dansby, who takes it in. Touchdown, Arizona.
Do you want me? Do you want me?
Listen up. 2 hot deals. Get them now at Best Buy.
Come and get me.
If you think a night out here is fun, wait until you go behind the kitchen door. I'm gonna fork you. You won't believe what's cooking. Anybody see my fingertip? In this year's wildest sitcom. Oh! Kitchen Confidential.
What?
Premieres Monday, September 19th on Fox.
Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees talking about the interception. Drew only threw 7 interceptions all of last year. Anthony Thomas, the former Chicago Bear, tries the right side and gets 1. Football next week, where will we be? We'll be in Chicago. And there's a reason for that. We'll talk about that later. 49ers at Eagles, Lions and Bears, Vikings and Bengals, the Falcons and the Seahawks later. Now, originally, we were going to head out there. But plans were changed.
Yeah, you have a little influence with the network, and you said, you know what, I don't want to have to travel cross country. I want to go to Chicago.
How can on your first day as a legitimate #1 analyst lie to the people? Second down and 9, and it's more from Thomas. He gets 6. Now the reason why is we're going to be in Chicago, which could be a good game. Kyle Orton was, I thought, pretty impressive in his first start today, as they lose by 2 at the hands of the Washington Redskins. But you've got to get back to Dallas for the Monday night game, because you, along with Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin, are going to be honored by the Dallas Cowboys and put in the Ring of Honor. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm excited about it and really looking forward to the evening.
3rd down and 4 for Dallas. Trying to take advantage of the Henry interception. That's flipped to Witten, his first catch of the day. And the Pro Bowler is dragged down from behind by Terrence Keel. He had jersey, not shoulder pads, so no flag, and a gain of 12.
Well, and this is where Witten is really good for this offense because they're able to split him out as a wide receiver, and he just flat out is running away there from Terrence Keel, and you get separation like that on a crossing route. Drew Bledsoe does a good job of hanging in the pocket and getting the ball out to him, but what we're seeing a lot of right now from San Diego, they're matching up on the outside and playing a lot of man-to-man coverage right now.
Thomas gets it to the 13. Got 2. Here's JB with another game break.
Hey, Joe Buck, Arizona is Jimmy Johnson's team to watch out for. Take a look at Eli Manning. Picked off here by the linebacker, Carlos Dansby. Stumbles, falls, rolls, gets up, runs into the end zone. Not artistic, but effective. 18 yards to pay her, 10-7. Cardinals on top of the Giants. Back to Joe Buck.
All right, JB, that'll go on the record of Eli Manning, but a tip ball, the interception, and the sheep pick in the NFC West. The Cardinals with the lead. Bledsoe with time, fires behind his receiver. Touchdown, Keyshawn Johnson.
Two guys there to the center of the field. They got Jason Witten. That's where Bledsoe looked like he was going first. He comes back, however. Keyshawn Johnson coming into the same void. What a great adjustment he makes on the ball there to bring that one in.
Keyshawn Johnson with a 13-yard touchdown catch. His 55th career touchdown catch, and he can still get up.
Sunday, sponsored by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
There's the drive as the Cowboys take advantage of the Anthony Henry interception. The guy who intercepted 10 as a rookie years with Cleveland. Part of the defensive upgrade that the Cowboys are proud of for 2005. Just about perfect here at the start. Short kick by Cortez. Sproles on the return.
Darren Sproles.
And Darren is out to the 32. Let's look back. An early fumble by Bledsoe on the quarterback center exchange, and Tomlinson punched it in. 7-0 until Patrick Creighton tied it. The interception by Anthony Henry set up the flip to Keyshawn Johnson. And not only did Keyshawn Johnson make an adjustment on that catch, but we saw Bledsoe make some adjustments with how he had to deliver the ball. Tomlinson shows that burst and gets it out just across the 35, got 4. The Chargers, Troy, look at this game, and I know we're just getting started, but with a real sense of urgency because of the way that their season begins. It is not an easy start to their year, and they were looking at this game against an improved Dallas team as one they had to win.
Well, that and the fact you're playing at home in the season opener, and so you want to get off to a good start, as every other team in the league does today. And you know, it is still early, you're right, but they're going to have to start being able to get a little more pressure on Drew Bledsoe.
2nd down and 6, and they hand it to their franchise running back. LaDainian Tomlinson gets 2. And a penalty flag is down on the play. Pete Morelli is our referee.
Holding, number 61, offense. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
After an impressive first drive, San Diego Chargers went 67 yards, got the touchdown. They have lost 14 yards since.
Yeah, Nick Hardwick now, he's going against Jason Ferguson, the defensive tackle, nose tackle that the Dallas Cowboys brought in. Did not get a lot of playing time in the preseason, but he is a load, and he's one of the reasons why the Cowboys felt they could go to this 3-4 scheme.
Brees hangs in and fires. He's got Parker, and Parker is flipped by Roy Williams. And that got an ooh out of this crowd here at Qualcomm Stadium.
Well, you watch Drew Brees, and he gets time to throw again, and he's very efficient when he gets back in the pocket, very decisive. That's one of the reasons why you don't see him taking a lot of sacks. And the Chargers like a lot of those crossing routes. And Roy Williams, he's got great closing speed, and once you catch the ball, you better plan on getting hit.
He doesn't miss. 3rd and 6, and they reverse it. Brees is the lead blocker. And Rashae Caldwell gets the first down. Brees did just enough to get Rashae Caldwell room to run and get the first down.
Yeah, he did just enough. That's a great way of putting it, Joe, because he comes out, now he's on Greg Ellis, and that's, you know, you don't like to have to block a big man like that when you're a quarterback, but he got Greg Ellis moving just enough. It got him running out towards the sideline, which gave Caldwell some room to pick up the first down. You know, I go back to that interception that Anthony Henry got on the previous possession. He got that interception because he was sitting on the route. I would expect here real soon for San Diego to try to take a shot on a double move and take advantage of some of the aggressiveness from this corner play.
Play clock winding down, and Drew Brees has to take the Chargers' first time out of the half. 7-0.
Blitz on 3rd and 10. The pass is complete to Brian Johnson, and he's got a first down up at the 40-yard line.
And there's the quick release, you know. He identified the blitz was coming to that side. The blitz came to that side. It was an overload to that side. Watch them bring the blitz to this side. Here they come right here, and they're going to come right in his face. Boom, boom. And there's the hot receiver. He breaks it off. It turns into a slant right to where those defenders actually were. That's his mind. That's his quick release. That's the things that made him a two-time NFL MVP.
He's hit 8 of his last 9. Cardinals a first down at the 40-yard line. Warner pass tipped and almost intercepted by Carlos Emmons.
Relevant. He's really helped.
Wow. Oh, somebody's got to do this. Oh, yeah.
Let's go, Matt. Not that far, Matt. You got this.
Oh. Wow, you really stuck that landing.
Shut it.
Go new places, experience new things. Toyota Trucks. Moving forward.
How are we gonna get out of here? With a little help from my friends.
I don't think an innocent man should be killed for something he didn't do.
We got a runner! Let's go!
Prison Break, a 2-hour event at 8/7 Central tomorrow on Fox. Fox Wednesday, Chris O'Donnell and Adam Goldberg are lawyers.
Evidence code. Clearly you need it more than I do.
Who don't always play by the book.
Whoa! Evidence code. Genius.
Head Cases premieres at 9/8 Central Wednesday on Fox.
How can you look at this guy and not think one of the great scenes in American film history out of the movie Dumb and Dumber? First down for San Diego. Down 7. Brees. Ware got his hands on him, and Brees got rid of it. Drew Brees started 3 for 3 for 35 yards. Since then, he's 1 for 7 with an interception.
Yeah, DeMarcus Ware doing a good job, and this, you know, we all know that he can rush the passer, and this is why he was brought in to Dallas, and Dillman there working on him and got him collapsed. But you know, DeMarcus Ware, the one good thing about him for a young player is he's very tenacious, and a lot of times players that come into this league have a hard time continuing to keep the play alive, and he's done that very well.
Brees fires on second down. That's his fullback, Lorenzo Neal. What is this? We have a new thing, Aikman's angle, and it's on DeMarcus Ware?
Yeah, it's Aikman's angle. We're on DeMarcus Ware, and if you look at him, you know, the way that he's able to come around the edge, Bill Parcells says it reminds him a lot of Lawrence Taylor already at a young point in his career. It's saying a lot. Marty Schottenheimer said it reminded him of his own Derek Thomas. And the thing that impresses me the most about him, not so much his pass rushing ability, although it's outstanding, is his ability to cover. This is a guy who is a defensive end in his scheme in college, and he's very good in space.
And of course he went to Troy. Third down and 4. Brees fires in the pass, a penalty flag. McCardell with a catch. He's got enough for a first down, and there's a flag in the secondary.
The flag was away from where the ball was thrown. There was contact on this side of the field. It's just a question of whether or not it was offensive contact or defensive contact that drew the penalty.
It was away from where the pass was thrown, but it was close to Bill Parcells. So he got a good look.
Illegal contact. Defense. That penalty is declined. Illegal use of hands to the face. Number 41 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So they get Terrence Newman.
Yeah, there was 2 flags on that play. They had a penalty on this side of the field away from the throw, and then they had a penalty right there where the ball was thrown. Terrence Newman, we talked a little bit about it in the way that he lost his confidence last year. He had as good a camp as he has had. In fact, most people in the organization feel like he was the most productive player in training camp. I know coming into this game, extremely confident, but those types of penalties are some of the things that plagued him last year.
You good? Not yet.
Back here, Brady.
That's the tight end, Justin Peel, that Troy circled at the bottom of your screen. On first down, McCardell is left alone, and Keenan pops out of bounds at the 34 with a first down. Tomlinson does it all, doesn't he?
Well, he really does. I mean, he takes great pride in his ability to block, and so many times you're only talking about how well a guy runs, how well he catches. He does that as well as anybody, and then you get him in there and he's helping in protection, a very unselfish player. And the reason I circled Justin Peel, that's where Antonio Gates would be if he were playing, and that's where you create some of those problems that Antonio Gates does.
Tomlinson been relatively quiet. LaDainian gets 3. Let's talk about that. And when we talked to Tomlinson, he said, one of the voids I may have to fill is running some routes down the middle of the field without Antonio Gates. They have Peel, who's not a bad player, but there aren't many like Gates out there.
No, and even when Antonio Gates isn't getting the ball thrown to him, he really affects coverages, and it allows other people to get open. But the good thing, if there is a good thing for Antonio Gates not playing, was he was gone throughout the entire training camp. They were able to prepare without him being on the field.
Second down and 6. Singleton was picked up that time by Tomlinson. The pass is broken up. Keenan McCardell and Anthony Henry, who already has an interception, was there for Dallas.
Yeah, and I mentioned it. Anthony Henry, the reason he got the interception is he's really squatting on routes. He's not respecting the speed. So as you watch him here against Keenan McCardell, he's not worried about the deep throw. He still stays underneath in his technique, and he's waiting for Keenan McCardell to turn his head. And as soon as he does, he's trying to undercut it. If Drew Brees had thrown the perfect pass there, Anthony Henry would have been looking at his second interception.
Third down and 6. Pass complete. And they do not give forward progress enough for a first down. It was Eric Parker. He caught it beyond the marker, it looked like, and was in the process of making a move, and now he's a yard shy of a first down.
Yeah, and it surprises me that after 2 consecutive plays now of Anthony Henry squatting on him on the outside, that they haven't yet taken advantage and taken a shot up the field.
I was just going to ask you, I mean, as a quarterback, you've got to see that and try to go down the field.
Well, and Drew Brees, in talking with him the other day, he's fully aware of Anthony Henry along with Aaron Glenn, 2 corners that are notorious for sitting on routes, and had talked about trying to take some shots.
It's 4th down and 1, and Brees has to take another timeout. There was a little indecision as to whether they were going to go for it or not, and that cost them time in the huddle, and they couldn't get to the line and get the play away.
Well, I know last year when you go back to their playoff game against the New York Jets in a very similar situation, they got up to the line on 4th and 1 and was able to draw the Jets off sides. You wonder if down here, if Marty Schottenheimer is just trying to draw him off sides, or in fact, is he going to try to run a play?
Well, we are about to find out. We look back to last season, a 12-4 record after a 4-12 season, plus 15 in their turnover ratio, and their points per game average good for 3rd in the NFL. However, came down to a push by Nick Kading, who we haven't seen today, on a 40-yard try, and the Jets ended up winning in overtime right here at Qualcomm.
Well, and I think that I'd like to see San Diego go for it here. I think that when you have an offensive line, a veteran group, at least in terms of the ability to play all season last year, run it behind Tonu Finoti, your big guard, and pick up the yard.
Goal line defense in for Dallas in an empty backfield. And Brees takes it up over the top. And a first down, San Diego. Drew's not a big quarterback, but he shows some athletic ability there.
Well, I just think Drew Brees has a knack for just being able to make plays and understand really what needs to happen. And we see this a lot when it's 4th and 1, 3rd and 1. You need to pick up that yards in order to keep the chains moving. This is about as good as any when you can get the ball and you don't have to come back 3 or 4 yards and hand it to your tailback.
Tomlinson tripped up Roy Williams. You could see Lorenzo Neal at the snap of the ball turning around to Tomlinson, and you could hear him say, I got the tight end. And then with his head turned, Brees and his center Hardwick snapped it, and Neal was able to get back around, but nothing much on that play. Picked up a couple, that's it.
Well, one of the real keys for Dallas in terms of being able to stop LaDainian Tomlinson is they don't want him hitting anything quick inside and giving him cutback lanes. They want to try to stretch him to the outside. If they can do that, they feel they have the speed to make plays.
Tomlinson right up the middle, and there's a yard there, maybe 2, as he gets it to the 20. First guy there was Chris Canty.
And Chris Canty is a guy who came in as a rookie and has been extremely impressive all throughout training camp. And he missed a little bit of camp early because he had eye surgery, but a big guy, 6'7", and he's one of these rookies that they're heavily reliant on. They lost one in practice this past week, Kevin Burnett. But Chris Canty is someone that they feel is going to be a very, very good player in this league for a long time.
3rd down and 7. Over the middle, touchdown McCardell.
Well, it really doesn't get a lot easier than this. You watch Keenan McCardell, he's going to go to the post, and DeMarcus Ware's on him, but he doesn't get any hand on him. You want to redirect an inside receiver when you've got the middle of the field open, because DeMarcus Ware does, and it gives him a free run, and the safety can't get there to make a play.
And with just over 2 minutes to go in a very good first half here in San Diego, we're tied at 14.
Again, Drew Brees, he just has a good pocket. He's got good vision on the route. And this is about as easy as it gets. The linebacker level was sucked up. The safeties were split out wide. And there was a lot of field there in the middle in order for Keenan McCardell to take advantage of and come down with that touchdown. When you put a wide receiver in there in the slot and you're walking a linebacker like DeMarcus Ware over him, you've got to get a good jam on that guy, especially a speed guy like Keenan McCardell, or you're going to have some problems.
Drew Brees, who talked to us 2 days ago about one of his training techniques, which was actually dropping back to pass and closing his eyes and trying to still complete passes. He said, you know, you still have an idea of where guys are, and it makes sense for a guy who's not a big-bodied quarterback, because sometimes he can't see back there behind those huge offensive linemen.
Yeah, and along those lines, I think so many times people criticize the shorter quarterback, whether it's Drew Brees or a guy like Doug Flutie. I can tell you, I'm 6'4", and when you've got offensive linemen like Flozell Adams in front of you who's 6'6", 6'7", you're not going to be able to see anyway, and it's all really about finding lanes and sliding and being able to get your vision to where you can see where you're throwing it, and that's what I thought Drew Brees was able to do there. He had good vision of where he was trying to go with the ball.
Kading's been much better this year with the depth of his kickoffs, and he gets it to Marion Barber. He took it from just about the goal line and gets it out across the 20. And we will have one more snap before the 2-minute warning. How about last year? The Dallas Cowboys were a playoff team 2 years ago in Bill Parcells' first year. Last year, 6-10. And there was really no match for the Eagles in the NFC East. After having the top defense 2 years ago, the defense fell apart, and they missed the playoffs for the 4th time in the last 5 seasons. So they go to a 3-4. They bring in free agents. They have a draft that's heavy on defensive players, trying to improve for 2005. Penalty flags on the play, and this one is aired out and picked off. Quentin Jammer, but now they're going to say Jammer was down at the 35. Again, flags are down. Flags came in at the very beginning of the play. Terry Glenn was the intended receiver.
12 men on the field, on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down. That is the 2-minute warning.
So it'll be a 5-yard penalty. Dallas keeps the ball. We're at the 2-minute warning with 1:53 left. The interception erased, and we're tied 14-14.
Actually chew up some clock.
Well, absolutely. They really haven't been able to go out and establish that running game that they need to get going. But as you mentioned, they've been able to throw a couple of screen passes to the receivers, get the ball down the field, and really this is why the special teams is helping them out here. When you talk about the 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
Michael Strahan is back, gets his first of the season.
And that's the bad. Remember we had the good and the bad of Kurt Warner? Remember we had that? Let's take a look. Here's Strahan. Strahan's going to be lined up right here. And look at that. That's a mean, lean Michael Strahan. Looks like he lost about a 2-year-old kid. Just bull rush, and he still has that power. You know, and his weight's down, and it's tough to play defensive end, especially left defensive end.
What are your
if you're not
thoughts?
300 pounds. He's about 255, 260 pounds. But all his power comes from his hips. And that's that. You see that bull rush, he gets his hands and leverage.
Yards, eye backfield, motion up front. Rattay clapping, and I think he's, with the long snap count, maybe drawing somebody off.
Ow. Yeah, that kind of burns a little. A little help here. I think someone's going to have to suck the poison out.
Yeah. We better find somebody fast.
Go new places, experience new things.
Came back into the field of play. That's what puts it as a touchback.
The officials right on the call. 58 seconds to go.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's the old vaunted 4-4-4 defense, Joe, that every defensive coordinator would like to employ. Unfortunately, when it is installed, the officials tend to catch that.
There's also a good little Sesame Street moment for a man with 3 daughters, 2 of which still watch. Piece of halftime coming up. JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will have scores and highlights from an interesting day. Opening day around the league, and the Fox Sports ticker has up to the second scores and stats. A little issue with the down and distance markers. It's 1st and 5 after the 5-yard penalty on San Diego. When you count, though, you're supposed to sing.
Oh, really?
Huh. Next time. 1:53 remaining. And Bledsoe is dragged down from behind. That's Lieber. They continue to wind the clock. Dallas with all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
Yeah, and that sack was on Drew Bledsoe. He had time. Of course, part of it is a coverage sack as well, but you've got to get the ball out and not take the sack.
Here's his day under pressure. Second sack brings up 2nd and 7. Bledsoe hangs on for a long time again, and the pass is incomplete. It's skipped into Creighton. And that'll bring up 3rd and 7.
You know, Drew Bledsoe is known for taking a lot of sacks, and he's already been sacked a couple of times here today, and you're going to see why this happens. At some point, you got to be willing to say it's not there, but he's sitting in the pocket, and I can assure you, you're not going to be afforded that kind of time in the National Football League to wait for guys to get open.
It would be a booth review, but it sure looked like Creighton got his hands under that before it skipped into him. That's a missed call.
Well, they're going to review it now.
And instead of what would be a first down, they're going to have to review that.
We are relooking at this play if it was a catch.
That was a catch. And I'll say this, to Patrick Creighton's credit, he didn't get up and try to referee. He went back to the huddle with trying to get ready for the next play, but it sure looked like Creighton got his hands under that before it skipped off the grass.
They're going to have to catch or Coach Creighton up on selling it a little bit more. It's close, but I don't think there's any question, Joe, that's a catch. His hands were underneath the ball, and the ball, from what we can see, did never hit the ground.
They play the replay on the board.
We'll be reviewing whether the receiver caught the pass.
And while they do that, it gives us a chance to look at some more early game headliners. Carnell Williams, I would put this in the category of a surprise with what Tampa Bay did at Minnesota opening up. He had 148 yards and a touchdown. Willie Parker, we saw him in the preseason, Troy. He's the speed version of the Pittsburgh Steelers running back, and what a day he had in Jimmy Smith with a big day for Jacksonville as they win over Seattle.
Well, with Willie Parker, it just goes to show you how fast things change in the National Football League. 3 weeks ago in preseason, he was talking about at some point in his career, he'd like to be the featured guy. Deuce Staley goes down. In that particular game, Jerome Bettis goes down, and all of a sudden his time is now, and he's starting the season opener here today, and he goes out and makes the most of it. And I know the Pittsburgh Steelers coaches, Ken Wisenhunt, their offensive coordinator, along with Bill Cowher, were extremely excited about his potential when we saw them a few weeks back, and he showed some of that here today.
We showed you and reminded you that you're watching Fox Sports, broadcasting in HD and presented by Direct TV. Rethink TV. A booth review. We're under 2 minutes to go, actually 1:18 to be exact. And Patrick Creighton, who has made his presence felt, he had 11 catches in the preseason to lead the Cowboys. Last year had 12 catches all year, and he might end up the featured receiver for Drew Bledsoe this season.
He very easily could, Joe. I mean, the guy just had an exceptional camp, and I mentioned he was a quarterback in college, and I think that experience in college has really helped him because he's got a great understanding of running routes, and quarterbacks out there know what I'm talking about in terms of knowing when to sit down, knowing where the holes within the zones are, and he's got exceptional hands, and he's got pretty good speed. So that's a lot of combinations there that are very conducive to being a good wide receiver.
After reviewing the play, the receiver was able to get both hands under the ball. It is a catch. The ball will be placed on the 39-yard line. First down, Dallas.
So after figuring out that it was a catch, they had to also figure out where the ball should be spotted. The answer is out at the 39 for the first down for the Dallas Cowboys. Terry Glenn and Keyshawn Johnson, the starting wide receivers for Bill Parcells, have the oldest average age of any two receiver combination across the league. So you look at a guy like Creighton, who has great hands, can block, has speed, and is 26 years old. And while everybody's talking about Price and Keyshawn and Terry Glenn, pay attention to him, 84.
Well, I would also say that Terry Glenn, even though his age is up there, he's taking pretty good care of his body. The key for him is just being able to stay healthy, and if he's able to do that, he's a weapon.
Clock is winding. They set up a screen for Jones. Julius Jones makes a move. He is eventually brought down by Luis Castillo, the 28th overall pick in this past draft, and a guy who gives the Chargers a lot of quickness. They are thrilled with how he has progressed.
Luis Castillo with the tackle.
All day long, and certainly for the past week plus, we have been talking about what happened on the Gulf Coast. Marcus Spears is from the area of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Here are his thoughts.
You know it's tough because you've been those places all your life. You've had fun at a lot of those places. And to see them gone, just, I mean, not even destroyed, but just gone. Underwater, you can't see the city. It was amazing. That's kind of my community, you know, and grew up there. A lot of people nurtured and cared for me. So just wanted to make sure that they were okay also. And then let's see what we can do to help.
From Baton Rouge, played at LSU. The pass is incomplete for Glenn, and there's a hold on the Dallas Cowboys with 58 seconds left in this first half.
Holding, number 73, offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
They get Larry Allen. So as we follow up on Marcus Spears, and it's another player for the Cowboys, Stephen Peterman, who's from Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. So many of those communities obviously ravaged by Hurricane Katrina, and I thought he put the finishing touch on it the right way. The question is, what can you do? What can we all do? And that is donate, as we've been calling for all day and for the past week plus. Second down and 18. Hand off to Jones, and that play was sniffed out. A gain of only 2 on the play, and Terrence Keel, the safety, was up to make the stop.
Well, and now what we're seeing from the Dallas offense is initially they thought maybe they'd be able to put something together in order to get down the field and put themselves in a position to come away with some points here before the half. But because of the penalties and because it's 3rd and long, now they're just trying to run the clock down. And you know, Marty Schottenheimer has 1 timeout left, and so he'd like to save it till after this play and then hopefully do something after the punt. But that's why we see Dallas standing around and just trying to milk this clock down.
Dallas will spend their second timeout. They'll run a play. It's only 3rd down. And then San Diego will have to take their final timeout. As we continue on that theme, if you want to help the victims, you can make donations by going to www.salvationarmyusa.org or call 800-SAL-ARMY. You can also go to redcross.org or call 800-HELP-NOW. If you experience delays, please be patient because so many people are trying to contact these organizations and do what they can to help.
Yeah, Joe, and what we know is a lot of people have weighed in as far as what their thoughts are on what these families and the people there in the Gulf Coast are having to go through. And, you know, as it relates to football and as it relates to these players who have family members and loved ones in that area, I just haven't not ever been through anything like that. You know, there's got to be no doubt that it's weighing heavily on these players' minds. And so when you're out there on the field, I can assure you, you just can't always block out things the way that some people think that you can. And it's got to be difficult for a number of these players to be out here playing today and at times find their minds wandering, thinking about the people that they're so close to.
And how about the Saints, who have been displaced and moved to San Antonio, where they've continued to train, and they get a win on the road at Carolina today. An end of the game field goal by Carney. Julius Jones runs it, and the San Diego Chargers will spend their final timeout. What a job Jim Haslett had to have done to prepare the Saints, a team that we saw in the preseason play well up in New England. Aaron Brooks, his day. Deuce McAllister, only 64 yards but 2 touchdowns. And I think you have to consider the New Orleans Saints as the team that might surprise this year in the NFC South.
I agree with you, Joe. I mean, if you look at just the numbers from a year ago, you wouldn't be all that impressed, but they came on very strong there over the last month of the season. You know, when talking with their players, getting ready for that preseason game that we did, I really felt that this was a team in the NFC, as you mentioned, that may surprise a lot of people. And then this happens, and you don't know how they're going to be able to react to all that, but they sure reacted positively today against a team that some people have picked to go all the way to the Super Bowl.
Everybody anxious to pick Carolina. Getting injured players back. That includes Steve Smith, who was a big part of their effort today. The Saints get the win. All the Cowboys cared about was getting that punt away clean. Sproles on the return, and he is swallowed up at the 35. And that's how this first half, a very exciting and tight first half, will come to a close. 14-14 is the score here in San Diego. Stay tuned for the Visa Halftime Show with JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy right after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. He will head back to work, and a 14-14 score here at the half. And I thought it was a pretty good first half. We saw a lot of good things from the Dallas Cowboys. We saw the Chargers get it together there at the end of the first half. We haven't seen a lot of LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, so far.
Well, I thought it was a very, for the most part, well-played first half. I know they're pretty even on both sides of the ball. I think one of the big keys as we move here into the second half is going to be third downs. Both offenses are converting an enormous number of third downs. So these defenses are going to have to step up, stop some of these drives, and give the ball back to their offense with some pretty good field position.
I love statistics. Huh? Don't you? I love fantasy stats. Nothing. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. Huh? Do you have Drew Bledsoe as your fantasy quarterback? Do you have Drew Brees? Julius Jones, 40 yards. LaDainian Tomlinson, only 38 yards. He does have a touchdown, and Patrick Creighton has a touchdown. So does Keyshawn Johnson. There's Patrick Creighton. A couple of big catches in that first half, and Keyshawn Johnson had to adjust, make a grab. So what's it going to be in this second half? Who is going to start this season 1-0? Dallas Cowboys, after this game, will be at home Monday for that Ring of Honor night against Washington. Dropped by Sproles. They fake a reverse. And Sproles has a full head of steam. Cortez, the kicker, in on the tackle. The Cowboys were the top team last year in the NFL in covering kicks. And Darren Sproles found a hole and used that great speed for a 49-yard return.
Yeah, and you see the wedge form there, and Darren Sproles is a guy they've been wanting to get on the field. He's a rookie, but he's got some tremendous talent and speed. A little guy, but extremely durable, and he takes this one, heads right up the middle of the field with his speed, and he came real close to taking that one all the way to the house.
4th-round pick this year out of Kansas State. That's the way to start the second half with a bang. Tomlinson has yet to get on track, and Tomlinson gets back to the line of scrimmage. Let's welcome in Patrick O'Neill down on the sideline. Patrick.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. Spoke with Marty Schottenheimer at the half. He said the team has to do better in coverage, but that means putting more pressure on the quarterback, Drew Bledsoe. Also spoke with Cowboys coach Bill Parcells. He said his team came out real shaky with the 3 offensive holding penalties, but right now this is an even ball game, so whoever plays best in the second half is going to take this one. Joe, back to you.
Thank you, Patrick. And that's really something that Schottenheimer talked about coming into this game, was getting pressure on the quarterback, something the Chargers struggled to do last year. Ware is coming off the edge, can't bring down Brees, who's got a first down throw to Keenan McCardell. Down to the 40, and Ware had a shot at Brees but couldn't bring him down.
DeMarcus Ware again uses his speed coming off the edge, and he's just able to get Roman Oben moving, but Roman can't keep up with him. He gives pressure on Brees, but because there's no pressure up the middle, it gives Brees room to step up into the pocket. A tip ball there, but yet Keenan McCardell in the middle of that zone defense is able to haul that one in.
It's Brady James who got a hand on that pass. First down from the Dallas 40. LaDainian Tomlinson breaks through. And he is wrestled down at the 32. You want to meet LaDainian Tomlinson? You don't if you're a defensive player in the NFL. His favorite athlete, Emmitt Smith, grew up in Waco. Favorite musical artist, Scarface. Favorite CD, which you're listening to right now, T.I.'s Urban Legend. His favorite actor, who can forget Jamie Foxx, up for Best Supporting Actor from Collateral. There's a shot from that movie. No, that's from In Living Color. 2nd down and 1. Handoff is to Lorenzo Neal, and he's got a San Diego first down at the 29.
You know, you see a lot of times in games like this where you come out, you try to run the football, and you're not able to, but you stick with it, and eventually things start to break. And that's what we're seeing now on this first possession for the San Diego Chargers. LaDainian and Tomlinson, who have been pretty much bottled up there in that first half, comes out and reels off a couple good runs, and now they come back with Lorenzo Neal. And one thing we know about Marty Schottenheimer, he's going to stay committed to running the football.
They again bring in an extra offensive tackle, Dealman. Like what the Packers have done over the years. Brees with a flag down finds Peel as tight end. And Peel is down at the 16-yard line, but there's a flag on the play. Greg Ellis is clapping.
Illegal motion. Number 87, the offense. Turned upfield too soon. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So McCardell turned upfield.
Yeah, you're going to see Keenan McCardell there, 87, and as soon as you start leaking up the field, no matter how subtle it is, that's a point of emphasis that these officials are going to call. They just feel that it gives the receiver an unfair advantage if he's moving towards the line of scrimmage at the snap. You can do that in arena football. You just can't do it in the National Football League.
First down and 15. Brees has time and fires. Pass is complete, and it's good for a first down to McCardell. Hey, if anybody wants to talk about arm strength, that's a long throw for Drew Brees, and he got it into the chest of McCardell in a blink.
Well, and one of the reasons for that, Joe, is Drew Brees does not have great arm strength, but he's got great anticipation, and he does a great job of coming out from underneath the center. And then on the outside with Keenan McCardell, look at the route there. A little bit of a stutter move, which gave the indication to Terrence Newman that McCardell was going to try to go by him, and that's why Terrence Newman got turned, and that's why McCardell got the separation that he did. A veteran route by a veteran player.
16-yard completion. Tomlinson bounce it to the outside. He got the edge on Keith Davis, got by him and picked up 2. All the stars are out. He's got Aikman. He's got Kutcher.
Well, thank you.
Ashton Kutcher. He's probably punking somebody as we speak. There he is. Looking smart in a pink shirt. Pam Anderson is here. Boyfriend of long snapper David Binn. Girlfriend. Or girlfriend, one or the other. Whichever way you want to look at it. Has a show on Fox. Brees fires. Peel! Incomplete. And Justin Peel almost made an incredible adjustment in a one-handed grab.
Well, Drew Brees comes back and he tries to take a shot at Justin Peel, but on the other side, Drew Brees misses one here. Grim Osgood, he runs the corner, and Roy Williams just blows the coverage, and so you got Terrence Newman letting him go, and Drew Brees, unfortunately for the Chargers, just did not see it. And you come back on the other side, and actually a pretty good throw by Drew Brees. He put that ball about the only place he could put it to give Justin Peel an opportunity to make that catch.
3rd down and 8, play clock. Down to 1 as they just get it away. Brees flips it, McCardell left alone for the touchdown.
As we take a look at Drew Brees, again, no pressure up inside, and that's why he's able to step up in the pocket there and then buy a little bit of time. And just a great job by Keenan McCardell adjusting the route, knowing that he had nobody behind him, going into the end zone. Drew Brees finding him and making the touchdown.
It's 21-14. 2 touchdown catches today from McCardell and Drew Brees on that $8 million one-year deal coming off that huge 2004. Off to a good start this year, 21-14 San Diego.
NFL Sunday is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40.
(21-14) San Diego on top. Scoring drive was set up by the 49-yard return by Darren Sproles, and taking a knee is Aaron Glenn. Hayden gets it into the end zone. Dallas gets it, trailing by 7.
It's a nice change-up having Gore and Barlow in the game together, mixing it up a little bit.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough.
I'm full!
Taco Bell's Big Bell Value Menu.
Come on, man, floor it!
Now get our employee pricing plus $4,500 combined cash allowance, which gets you a Ram 1500 ST for around $14 grand.
Verizon Wireless by San Francisco. So the first special teams mistake.
But it's biting him right here. You've got to be able to understand where
San
you're at.
Francisco is elected to retry from the 2.
Sponsored by Budweiser Select. Brewed for a crisp taste that finishes clean. Be selective.
8-play, 51-yard scoring drive, capped on the little flip from Drew Brees to Keenan McCardell. Sproles got it started. And now it's Bledsoe, play action. And right into the ground. The effort trying to get it to Julius Jones. Back to the touchdown.
Now go back and take a look, and you're going to see Keenan McCardell here. He's going to start across, and then when he realizes that they're collapsing on him, he's going to take it to the end zone. And it's just an ad-lib play by a veteran wide receiver right there. He knows Drew Brees is in some trouble. He takes it up high. Drew Brees fortunately sees him and then just makes the easy completion. But really a good job of adjusting the route by Keenan McCardell.
2nd down and 10, penalty flag on the play, and Julius Jones is out to the 25. So in today's NFL, there's still room for improvisation and changing things up on the fly?
You know, very little, Joe. I got to be honest, that's a good question, and there's not a lot of it anymore, but if he hadn't have done it there, they wouldn't have gotten the touchdown pass.
Illegal formation. Number 83 was covering up number 86. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Now, these are the type of pre-snap penalties that'll just drive a coach crazy. You know, when you can't even get lined up or you're jumping off sides, and the Cowboys experienced some of that early, and now they're having a little bit of it here in the 3rd quarter. Andre Gerard, it should be pointed out, has been moved to center in place of Al Johnson, and he's a little bigger guy and maybe provides them a little bit better blocking against the Jamal Williams there at nose tackle.
Blitz. Bledsoe throws to Creighton, and he goes nowhere. Good open field tackle by Quentin Jammer. Gain of only 5, and it brings up 3rd and long for Dallas.
That's one of the things that the San Diego Chargers like to do within their defensive secondary is they don't come up and press a whole lot. What they prefer to do is stay off, keep everything in front of them, let them catch the ball, and then come up and make a tackle. If you're going to play that style of secondary, you better be a good tackler, and Quentin Jammer's a good tackler.
Look at San Francisco, 28-9 over St. Louis. 3rd and 10. And Bledsoe is going to go down again. Sean Phillips was the first to get there. Luis Castillo was in on the stop. And there's a penalty flag that comes in at the very end of the play.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer, blow to the head of the quarterback, number 93, 91 of the defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
If it's on 93, it's Luis Castillo. It was their 2nd first-round pick this year.
Well, they came after him. Apparently, they had to go to the head. You see the hand there, and they're going to call that. And as difficult as it is oftentimes, in my opinion, for a defensive lineman who's rushing the passer, to be aware of not going towards the headgear. If they do touch it, it's going to be the penalty. It was the right call, and just a bad situation for San Diego. They got Dallas backed up. They get the sack. They would have gotten great field position on the punt, but instead it's 1st down for Dallas.
Yeah, mark it down. 9:12 left of this 3rd quarter. Instead of forcing a Dallas punt, the blow to the head on the part of Castillo gives Dallas a 1st down.
Yeah, and that's the bad part about it, is it's an easy call for the referee. He's just staring at the quarterback, and it doesn't take much, as we saw there.
They're going now.
1st down Dallas with the ball at their own 25. Julius Jones. Jones got a little extra shot in, and he's about a half-yard shy of a 1st down. Let's go to JB for a game break.
Hey, Joe, you mentioned the 28 points of San Francisco. Here are 6 of them. Tim Rattay looking absolutely excellent. Hooking up with Arnaz Battle, a 6-yard strike. It is now 28-9, as you mentioned. Yeah, that's San Francisco on top of the Rams. Back to Joe Buck.
All right, JB, thank you. So Larry Marmee's defense is having another rough day, as they did all of last year. Despite the additions of Claiborne and Coakley, a former Dallas Cowboy. A gain of 3 here. And a pickup of a 1st down for the Dallas Cowboys as Julius Jones gets enough. Still can't get over looking at that score. Miami 34, Denver 10.
Well, there's some strange games today in the league, no question. And that being one of them, and then the one that we just showed there, San Francisco up as big as what they are on St. Louis. And I always feel like in the opener, of course, you never know how good any team is going to be, but that's when a lot of the big upsets occur.
On 1st down, Bledsoe has Keyshawn Johnson. And Keyshawn inside San Diego territory, forced out just shy of the 38. Gain of 25.
Well, I know Dallas wanted to take some opportunities for some shots down the field. This is one of the first times that they've called it. It's a good play fake here by Drew Bledsoe. He bends over, hides the ball, tries to disguise it from the defense. Linebackers come up on the play fake. The secondary got taken off the top because of the threat of the other receiver running through the middle, and it just opened up a big lane for Keyshawn Johnson.
Julius Jones to the right side. Let that develop, and he's down to the 28, picked up 9.
Yeah, we take a look at Larry Allen, the left guard, and what a great player he's been for a long time. He's going to pull, and Julius Jones told us that that's the guy who he wants to run behind. Oftentimes he'll slow down just so he can stay behind Larry Allen, and that's exactly what he did there. Larry Allen started to kick the defensive player to the outside, and Julius Jones slowed down enough to be able to come underneath the block.
If Drew Bledsoe has a new best friend, And it's not Larry Allen, it's Julius Jones running the football, taking the pressure off the quarterback. But we came on the air today, inches shy of a first down was Jones. And you talked about the Dallas Cowboys need to throw the ball today against the San Diego Chargers secondary, and that's where their big plays have come. The completion to Keyshawn Johnson moments ago, and we'll see how they operate now with second down and inches with the ball just about at the San Diego 28.
Well, what we've seen in this game from Dallas is Drew Bledsoe has been extremely efficient. 12 of 15, 160 yards and 2 touchdowns, and they still had the ability to get the ball to Julius Jones even on 3rd and 6 and pick up some of those first downs. So I would agree with that assessment, Joe. Julius Jones, a tremendous weapon and ally for Drew Bledsoe, and also in addition to him, I would put Jason Witten in that category as well.
Witten has only 1 catch today. 2nd and inches. They're going to take a shot. And no one there. Glenn the closest to it. Terrence Keel, the safety, was in the end zone for San Diego. Tonight, catch 4 husbands on one desperately funny night. It's the premieres of The Simpsons, The War at Home, Family Guy, and American Dad. The new Fox Sunday begins tonight, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on Fox. 3rd down and inches. Jones, first down, Dallas to the 23.
And I think you have to go back. This drive started on the 20-yard line, and you have to go back to the 3rd down roughing the passer penalty. Otherwise, San Diego would have gotten the ball with great field position, but because of that penalty, it kept this drive alive, and now Dallas is clearly within field goal range with thoughts of taking it in for a touchdown.
Bledsoe to the sideline for Keyshawn, and the catch is made inside the 5. Looked like it happened in slow motion, and Keyshawn Johnson was able to stay in and make the catch in front of Drayton Florence.
This is a route that Dallas runs, and it's not called in the huddle. Drew Bledsoe has to decide, is he on top of the DB or is he behind him? Drew Bledsoe felt that Keyshawn Johnson had not gotten beyond Drayton Florence.
Julius Jones to the corner for the touchdown. And you have to wonder if Dallas got up to the line in part and ran the play so fast, trying to eliminate any chance of a review on that catch by Keyshawn Johnson.
Well, and that's exactly right, Joe. Yeah, they didn't want to put it into the officials' hands and let it go to a replay challenge, and so they fast snapped the ball and was able to get Julius Jones out on the corner.
Keyshawn Johnson set it up on that catch to the 4.5, and Julius Jones knocked it in. Cortez to tie it. With 9 minutes and 12 seconds left in this 3rd quarter, the roughing the passer, they hit to the head on Luis Castillo. The result, touchdown Jones and the Cowboys as they tie it at 21.
Pro football.
Johnson made that 18-yard reception, got it just inside the 5, which set up the Julius Jones touchdown run. Keyshawn 2 catches, 43 yards on that drive. Sproles.
Look out.
Watch out. Darren Sproles into Dallas territory, and again Jose Cortez is forced to come in and make the tackle. Sproles has a 49-yard return and now 47 yards. Great field position for San Diego.
Stop on Steven Jackson on 3rd and 2.
We'll really just have to wait and get a measurement. This is going to be interesting. This defense is playing outstanding. At the point of attack, they're getting aggressive, going in, taking the wrong shoulder. With the linebackers getting in there, and all you see are 49ers there. We've got 4th down with the Rams needing to go for it in this situation to try to slow down this momentum of this 49er team.
trailing by 19 points. Here's 4th down and 1 for St. Louis. Give to Manu Maliuna, close to the
on 2nd down. Warner throws and it's broken up.
Was he there early?
That is close. I think Johnson wanted to.
He'll get it.
Says the former fullback, Howard Griffith. You didn't wear 86, though, did you?
Not quite.
1st and 10 with Bruce in motion. The handoff goes to
mechanically built speed design. The charger factor. You want to reach it? Unleash it.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. By KFC's new flavor station. Be the boss.
The ball to Bruce and allow him to run the reverse and go in.
TV, NFL Sunday Ticket.
Second down and 13 after the 3-yard loss. Play action. Bulger, a lot of time to throw to the corner. And
average on the day. Returning kicks by Cortez, who's been in on the last 2 tackles. That's not a good sign. Tomlinson slips down. Looking to get around Shane Olivier. Back to the return by Sproles. And Marty Schottenheimer telling us he's as exciting a kick returner as he's been around in a long time. And there's Cortez making the tackle. He made 1 special teams tackle last year for the Minnesota Vikings when he was kicking off for them, and he's in on the last 2 here.
You know, have you ever noticed anytime a kicker has contact, he goes down and he's hurt?
Say that with such bitterness. 2nd down and 10. And the pass complete. Rashay Caldwell on the grab, and he lurches forward, picked up 9.
It's good to see him playing back and getting back into that form that he had 2 years ago before he had the Achilles injury. He's not showing any effects of that today.
Throwing that left Achilles in week 5.
And that's going to be the challenge now for this Dallas defense. Can they tighten up and keep San Diego from getting points on this drive?
It's 3rd down and 1 here. They give it to Neal, the fullback. And Lorenzo Neal is knocked down by Anthony Henry after he gets 9. Neal normally opening the holes for LaDainian Tomlinson. Here's Lorenzo.
When I block for LT, sometimes it becomes, difficult because you're tempted to turn around and start watching. I'm looking and I hear the crowd roar. I want to start clapping and cheering because you're like, where is he at? I know he's doing something, and I hear the crowd, woo, it's like a jackrabbit. He's all over the place, he's just all over the place, so it's great.
And he's usually right on Lorenzo Neal's hip. Neal got it on 3rd and 1, got 9, and now Brees going for it all. Catch is made, but out of bounds by Rashay Caldwell. Game break time. JB working hard in L.A.
Hey, George, you take a look at Willie Ponder of the New York Giants in his kickoff return. I asked Jimmy Johnson, how well could Troy Aikman move? He said he moved pretty well, but I've never seen anything like this. Little Deion Sanders move, 95 yards to pay dirt, 28-19. Giants on top of Arizona, 4:16 left in the 3rd. Back to Joe Buck.
Yeah, I know he scored, JB, but his technique didn't look a lot better than mine.
Willie Ponder and the Giants opening up the lead on the Cardinals. Hasn't been a good day for the NFC West. Tomlinson. Seattle lost on the road at Jacksonville. The Rams are losing big at San Francisco, and now the Cardinals, a team that everybody wants to pick, are looking up at the Giants at the Meadowlands.
I think this Cardinals team, they're going to make some improvement, and they've got some new players in there. Of course, Denny Green bringing in his system, and they're going to be competitive most weeks. And I think right now, when you look at this game here, the Chargers have been very efficient on third down, completing 67%. Dallas is going to have to step up here.
Out of the shotgun, they hand to Tomlinson. Good blocking in front of him, and Tomlinson a first down. Dat win on the tackle, and I believe it was Roman Oben who was out in front of him on that carry. 10 yards and a first down.
Sorry, Joe. We've seen this now a few times when it's been third and medium to third and long, which are generally passing downs, and yet they've still come back and given the ball to LaDainian Tomlinson. Mike Goff pulls out there, the right guard, and they get some blocks from the wide receivers. Big first down.
There was Goff who was out there and helped on the carry. Out of handoff down to the 10. Michael Turner picked up 7. First carry of the day for Michael Turner, a 5th-round pick last year from Northern Illinois.
We came into this game talking about this offensive line and how they came together last year, and Nick Hardwick was the only guy who missed any starts last year and got them all back. And you know, this is the time in the game where it starts to pay dividends, when you get these big guys working together and with great continuity and start moving the defensive line off the ball. In the fourth quarter, you just tend to wear people down. That's what we're starting to see now from San Diego.
They bring Dielman back in on the end of the line at the bottom of the formation. And a hand again to Turner, and he is tripped up by Roy Williams, knifing through, no gain.
You know, we really haven't talked much about Roy Williams today, and made a few plays earlier in the game, but you know, as I mentioned, he felt that last year was a real disappointing season for him, and it wasn't entirely his fault because they were having some problems in pass defense, and so he was forced to play back and help out with the corner play. And now they feel like they've upgraded the corners, and he can get a ball around the ball and be a little bit more aggressive than what he was able to.
70% now are the Chargers on third down. It's 3rd and 3. And this will cost San Diego 5 yards.
False start, number 77. Offense. 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Toniu Finoti.
Yeah, and it was Toniu Finoti. It looked like they were going to run a little play action, and he was pulling out to be the lead blocker for Drew Brees. And I don't know that they can go back now with the play action pass, but I certainly would expect pass now here on 3rd and long.
Finoti, who is listed at 350 pounds, he's heavier than that. Solid, strong, and a terrific left guard for the Chargers. 3rd and 8. Blitz. Brees looking for somewhere to go, and it's incomplete for Parker. 4th down with 15 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
It was a good job by the Cowboy defense once they allowed San Diego to move the football after the good return by Darren Sproles and not give up 7 points. And now, obviously, San Diego's going to get the opportunity for the go-ahead field goal, but a good job by this defense not giving up 7.
Nate Kading will try a 33-yarder. Bad snap, and the kick is good. Mike Cyphers got it down. Kading got it up and through. 24-21 Chargers.
Lots of Wi-Fi users work in coffee shops, which aren't always the best places to work. Wouldn't it be great to work wherever you wanted instead of only in hotspots? Now you can with Verizon Wireless Broadband Access. Wi-Fi only works in limited locations, while Broadband Access is the nation's largest, fastest, wide-area wireless broadband network and is expanding coast to coast. Now get unlimited access at a great price, so you won't get stuck in a not-so-hot spot. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
KFC's new flavor station lets you choose your own flavor, which puts you in charge.
With KFC's flavor station, I'm in charge! Oh, yeah!
With KFC's new flavor station, I'm in charge! You're in control with KFC's new flavor station. Finally, get your wings dipped any way you want. Choose from 3 awesome sauces. New fire.
Ball over, and only 1 turnover so far. That was on the first drive for the 49ers. 2nd down and 10. Pass complete, Brandon Long.
Well, if you're going to set a record, or break a record and set a new one, that's the way to do it. 56-yard punt, no return.
(28-12) 49ers on St. Louis.
The end of the third quarter.
Fox.
Starts out cold, ends up refreshing. Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
.12 seconds left in this third quarter, 24-21. San Diego leading. You got to look at that replay of the kick by Kading. Snap might have been a little high, but Cyphers dropped it on his way down to set it up for Kading. Kading somehow knocked it through with a ball just about sitting sideways. Aaron Glenn forced out of bounds after he crossed the 20. Well, we're off to a flying start here in our first game of the 2005 season, and now it's up to the Dallas offense to see what they do after their defense at least did enough to keep San Diego out of the end zone.
I've been very impressed, Joe, with both of these offensive teams. They've been pretty efficient. They've been very good on third downs, and you're right. As we move now into the fourth quarter, a 3-point difference separates this game. It looks, at least the way that it's come out here in the second half, I mean, whatever offense winds up having the ball last has a very good opportunity to win this game.
So the San Diego Chargers with their 3-point lead, and we are under 20 seconds left, under 10 seconds left in this third quarter. Only 6 remain. And Julius Jones tries to bounce it to the outside, and Donnie Edwards was in on the tackle. The end of the third quarter, the score, 24-21 San Diego. Opening weekend of the NFL season.
To defend the ball.
Pass interference, 58 defense. It's an automatic first down.
Antonio Pierce called for the penalty, and the Cardinals needed that.
Anderson told us on Friday this is not a 2-14 team, and the 49ers are backing that up as we head to the fourth. With San Francisco up 28-12, facing third down and 4 here. Barlow he fumbled the football, picked up by the Rams. St. Louis forces the second turnover of the day. Travis Fisher recovers the fumble.
The league as they have it. Short.
Isn't that their home field advantage?
Well, it could be, but it's tough to play.
Well, how about if you go up in January to Green Bay, Wisconsin? You know, that's that's bitterly cold.
Pride of Mexico. He's a 3-time world champion.
Instead of only in hot spots, now you
with champion Robbie Peaton to unify the super featherweight belts. And Sugar Shane Mosley is back to conquer the welterweight division against undefeated Jose Luis Cruz. Barrera versus Peaton, Mosley versus Cruz. Saturday, September 17th, live on DirecTV pay-per-view. Don't miss Parade of Champions, live on DirecTV pay-per-view, channel 123.
Start of the fourth quarter, 24-21. The Chargers on top. Dallas Cowboys have the ball. Second down. Bledsoe fires, pass is caught. That's Glenn, who was the man in motion on that play. And Terry Glenn picks up 16 and a Dallas first down. Fox's football coverage doesn't end when the games are over. Afterwards, stick around for the OT, a brand new show where JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy bring you extended highlights, exclusive interviews, analysis, and a look ahead to next week's action. It's the OT coming up next, right here on Fox. Play action on first down. Bledsoe's going to air it out. Glenn, the intended receiver, and everybody's overthrown. Back there was Fletcher for San Diego, along with Drayton Florence rather, and the incompletion brings up 2nd and 10.
That's one of the shots that Dallas wanted to take. Drew Bledsoe, as you're going to see, he tries to go play action. He moves around just enough to buy himself some time. They tried running 2 posts on the outside. Terry Glenn, he's going to be on the outside. Keyshawn Johnson was on the inside trying to influence the safety, but a good job of coverage, not allowing Terry Glenn to get in behind that coverage.
Drew Bledsoe today went over the 40,000-yard mark in his NFL career. Throwing for over 40,000 yards. Here he hands to Julius Jones, and he ran into a wall. Foley was part of it. He's the 10th player to reach 40,000 yards plus, and today Brett Favre has a chance to go over 50,000 in the Packers game as they are playing Detroit.
Well, Drew Bledsoe, he's had a heck of a career, and you go back to early in his years with Bill Parcells and the amount of times that he's thrown the ball. That's not the offensive style that he wants to use here with this time with Bledsoe.
3rd down and 9. Pass is broken up, incomplete, and a penalty flag. Quentin Jammer was working on Patrick Creighton, and it's against San Diego, so another key 3rd down penalty.
Pass interference, number 23, defense, automatic first down.
Now, this is something that's really plagued him in recent years, most specifically last year when they had the point of emphasis, the illegal contact. You're going to watch him 23. He jams him there within 5, but then you got to let him go. And it was close. It was close as to whether or not that was within the 5-yard range, but he just hasn't yet been able to figure it out as far as when he can come up and jam and when he has to disengage with the wide receiver. And another critical penalty against the San Diego Chargers, which keeps the drive going.
So again, on a failed 3rd down try by Dallas, a defensive penalty keeps the drive alive. The last time after the penalty on Luis Castillo, the Cowboys reeled off 8 plays, covered 75 yards, and scored the game's tying touchdown. Now they're down by 3. And after the pass interference on Jammer, they have a 1st down at their own 45. Julius Jones, nowhere to go. Ben Lieber came up to make the stop for San Diego.
And I tell you what, Ben Lieber is really having himself a heck of a ball game here today. He's been involved in a number of plays. He's going to come off the edge, and he takes on the offensive lineman there, but he sheds him, and then he brings down a very elusive running back in Julius Jones. But Ben Lieber, who's been a 4-year starter for this team, a lot of people feel when Merriman comes back from his injury, he'll replace Lieber. But if Lieber keeps playing the way he has today, he's going to keep that job.
2nd down and 12. They keep it on the ground with Julius Jones, and that doesn't do much. 3rd and long coming up again. Sean Merriman was the Chargers' top pick. He sprained his knee 2 weeks ago. He's not active for today's game. And he was a guy drafted 1 spot after the Dallas Cowboys grabbed DeMarcus Ware. A big linebacker, 6'4", 272.
Well, another big 3rd down here for the San Diego Chargers. They've got to shore it up. They've been very porous so far, giving up over 60%.
3rd down and 9. Quick throw. Creighton again with another 1st down catch. And inside San Diego territory, that was good for 10. When they need a big play today, they've looked number 84's way.
Well, they're going to go Witten here, and then they're going to be Creighton right here. So you're going to get people moving. It opens up the lane, and you got Drayton Florence then playing outside, and you just cannot get more open than that. Drayton Florence has to come up in that situation and challenge the wide receiver. You can't let people run off the ball 8 yards without contention.
Jones met in the backfield and wrapped up. That's the big nose tackle, Jamal Williams.
Now, I've been impressed with the job that this San Diego Chargers defense has done here in the second half as far as stepping up and bottling up Julius Jones. They've gotten him to 3rd and long situations. They've been unable to get off the field, whether that's because of penalties or because of just not playing good coverage in the secondary.
They look at Drayton Florence on the sideline and bring Sammy Davis in. Bledsoe down and the ball comes out. Polite, the fullback, falls on top of it. And it was Sammy Davis, who was just brought in when Florence went out, who came on the blitz.
Well, really great job of Sammy Davis timing it up. He starts on the outside and he starts moving in, sliding in, and Flozell Adams and the running back there never see it. Bledsoe thought it was going to be picked up. He thought Lusaka Polite was going to be there to pick him up, but Lusaka Polite saw it late, and that's why Bledsoe got hit in the back of the head.
A loss of 15, 3rd and 26. Four-man rush, Bledsoe. Out of the reach of Julius Jones. And this time there are no flags down, and finally the Chargers force a punt. Steve Foley with pressure on that 3rd and 26. Been sacked 4 times, hit 9 times, and hurried 5 times.
Well, Wade Phillips doing a good job of dialing up some blitzes to knock them out and force them into punting situations.
Nick Dreyer. Better punt this time. On the return, it's Sproles. He's brought down from behind. They're going to mark him at the 31. 12-yard return by Sproles. San Diego with a 3-point lead and the football.
The idea behind the cars is changing. The idea behind the company remains the same. Introducing the brand new Aura, the redesigned View, and the first ever Sky Roadster. Saturn.
BK is making NFL history. Now every Angus rapper scores a free day of NFL Sunday ticket from DirecTV.
They say working out adds 10 years to your life.
Why was my brush in your room?
Because I was brushing my hair with it.
That's so gross!
The War at Home premieres at 8:30 after The Simpsons, tonight on Fox.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Budweiser Select, brewed for a crisp taste that finishes clean. Be selective. By Burger King and the new Angus Shroom and Swiss. By FedEx Express, international shipping made easy. And by Saturn.
San Diego has it. 10:03 remaining in the 4th quarter. Up by 3, and they'll start this possession with a throw deep and out of the reach of Eric Parker. Parker's looking for a flag, and he's not going to get it. Anthony Henry was there on the coverage and then went down. Parker got behind him, but he was overthrown.
Well, they finally got to the double move that we expected after seeing Anthony Henry jump the route and get the interception, and then he came back on another route later. That's why Drew Brees makes the audible. He knows he's got one-on-one outside and might have had a chance there if they hadn't gotten tangled up a little bit.
Second and 10, they hand to Tomlinson. And LaDainian pushes the pile forward for 4. We look back. LaDainian Tomlinson, the first score of the day on a 2-yard run. But then the Cowboys went to work. Keyshawn Johnson with a touchdown catch. McCardell has 2 touchdown catches. Julius Jones punched it in to tie the game. And since then, Nick Kading has hit from 33 yards to make it 24-21 Chargers. 3rd down and 6. Williams coming on a blitz. Brees goes down. Leroy Glover. With a switch to a 3-4 defense, a lot of people thought Leroy Glover was going to get squeezed out. But he's impressed Parcells, and he's in for a key sack.
Yeah, they brought in Jason Ferguson. Leroy Glover thought he was going to be the odd man out. He went to training camp and came out of camp as the best defensive lineman on the team, and as you can see there, he's a terrific football player. He's been known to be able to put pressure on the quarterback throughout his career and makes a big play at a big point in the ball game.
Went to Point Loma High School, played football at San Diego State, and Cyphers hits it off the side of his foot. It's going to be marked out at the San Diego 44. It's an 18-yard punt. Great field position for Dallas. He's ever been around.
What do you think he thinks now?
Not much. Not at this moment. After an 18-yard punt, puts the ball at the 44-yard line of San Diego. Over the middle, pass complete. Terry Glenn. And a 13-yard completion right after that punt. And Dallas has a first down at the San Diego 31.
Well, it doesn't surprise me when you get into a situation like this late in the game that Drew Bledsoe is going to be looking for Terry Glenn. He has a great rapport with him on the field. It goes back to their days in New England, and it picked up right where it left off when they got together this offseason.
Glenn had 2 1,000-yard seasons with Bledsoe in New England. Julius Jones has been shut down in this second half. He gets nothing over the right side.
Yeah, he really has, Joe. And the yards and the plays that they've been able to make have been in the passing game. And you get the idea that that's the way it's going to continue throughout the rest of this game. They're going to still try to get Julius Jones going, but if they're going to get anything down the field, they're going to have to do it on the arm of Drew Bledsoe.
And let's say this while we talk special teams. The kicker for the Dallas Cowboys is anything but a sure bet, as they have the ball inside the 35 of the Chargers. Jose Cortez. Blitz coming. They hand to Jones, and there's Lieber again. Lieber and Foley came together, and Lieber will get credit for the tackle. And it's 3rd and long coming up for
Steve
Dallas.
Foley, excuse me, Joe. Steve Foley, he's so physical coming off the edge. He's right here, and he's very disruptive. You see he's working there against Jason Witten, and he's the one who disrupted the timing with Julius Jones, and then you got Ben Lieber coming off that backside to make the play.
3rd down and 11. From this spot, it would be a 50-yard field goal try by Cortez. And that looks to be on Rob Petiti, the rookie right tackle.
Ball start, number 79, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That's a couple on Petiti.
Yeah, and it's hard. You know, it's really hard, and not making excuses for him, but you know, you go through the preseason, he had played well, he didn't seem overwhelmed, he didn't seem like a big-eyed rookie, but it's different when you get into the regular season and you're on the road. It's loud in a big game like this. Sometimes there's a tendency to flinch a little bit, and he's been caught a couple of times.
Cowboys need yards to make this a more realistic field goal try. 3rd and 16. Penalty flag on the play as Glenn makes the catch. They're inside field goal range with the completion. We'll check the marker.
Well, Patrick Creighton was telling the official that he thought that he was being held.
And that's the call. That'll be an automatic first down. It's another 3rd down mistake.
Number 23, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And it's Quentin Jammer again. That is 3 in this second half. that the Chargers have made on 3rd down.
Yeah, and these are the types of plays that you just can't have. I mean, you're going to see it. He engages right away, but clearly after 5 yards, he's still pulling cloth. And just so our viewers at home know, every receiver on the field has an official who's watching them, so they're not going to miss those types of calls.
Jammer's been nailed twice on a 3rd down defensive penalty. Castillo got the other. Cowboys are trying to stay with the run as Jones lowers his head and gets it to the 30. For more on what's coming our way on the OT, let's go to JB.
All right, Joe, indeed, coming up on the OT following the game, time permitting. In case you missed it, we'll show you New Orleans' emotional win over the Carolina Panthers. We'll also take you into the locker room for head coach Jim Haslett's speech to the team and the heartfelt reaction from the squad. And it's all following the game on the OT. But right now, back to you, Joe Buck.
Thank you, JB. 2nd down and 8. A blitz. Pass complete to Creighton. Needs a move to try to get the 1st down, and he dives for it and has it at the 21. So the drive will continue as Creighton gets 9.
And what a great job by Patrick Creighton, knowing where he had to get to in order to pick up the 1st down. Drew Bledsoe comes out on the naked boot, gets the ball in his hands, but he's able to extend the ball out and pick up the 1st down. Really a nice play of being aware of where you're at on the field and what's necessary.
How about his career high 6 catches? He had 12 all of last year. First down, back to Jones. Julius Jones down inside the 10. So another 3rd down penalty by the San Diego defense. Quentin Jammer keeps the drive going, all following that 18-yard punt, and the Cowboys are going to hurry it up. 1st and goal. Julius Jones, the defense wasn't set, and Jones will bang it down to the 2.
You know, when you take a look at this Chargers defensive front, and they just look like they're completely gassed, and I think that's one of the reasons why the Cowboys are going on a little bit quicker snap. They just look exhausted, and you got to realize that none of these players played an entire 60 minutes during the preseason, and you're always guarded against how are they going to be affected late in the 4th quarter of a big ball game early in the season.
3 tight ends in the lineup for Dallas. Jones still working, and he's going to be thrown backward. Jammer was in on the tackle with Randall Godfrey, a former Cowboy. And that'll bring up 3rd and goal.
Well, this is an important series here for this San Diego defense. If they're able to hold here and force the Cowboys to settle for a field goal, then they've accomplished their job.
Bledsoe and the Cowboys are going to use a timeout. With 3:10
here is called for the holding.
One of the things here, if you're the 49ers, you want to know exactly where Torrey Holt is, because he has 10 grabs in this game for, I believe, 125 yards. So you definitely want to have the players right there around it.
Julian Peterson trying to get the San Francisco fans on their feet for 3rd down and 10. Bulger from the shotgun. Looking long, it's tipped, and it's incomplete. Intended for Isaac Bruce, coming back for it.
Kareem McKenzie went down with a leg injury late in the 1st half. Bob Whitfield, who was victimized right away when he...
Here they're up by 10 points.
Tackle. He was a left tackle. But what a player he was over the years.
On this job, you notice things. Like this new Steak Fanatic pizza. It's a big hit with the guys.
Steak Fanatic pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Man fuel. Cool.
Hey, hurry
Hurry up! Only 23 figurines left, Hank! They're statues!
They're statues.
Introducing Domino's new Steak Fanatic Pizza. Angus steak piled on even more steak, smothered in cheese. Buy a medium for just $9.99 and heap on even more Angus steak for just $2. Hit the door. It's Domino's new Steak Fanatic Pizza.
In just 2 days, uncover the new Fox Tuesday.
What can you tell me?
This is a crime scene.
The premieres of Bones and House. It all starts at 8, 7 Central Tuesday on Fox.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Saturn.
Third down and goal, Troy Aikman, where would you go?
Well, I like play action down here, Joe, but when you look at their personnel on the field, 3 wides, I wouldn't be surprised if they go draw to Julius Jones.
Gonna flip it up. Keyshawn Johnson makes the catch for the touchdown. And what a first day for Drew Bledsoe here on opening day as he begins his career with the Cowboys.
There's no question. I mean, Bill Parcells wanted him to be efficient. He's been everything that Bill has wanted him to be. And right there, you got Keyshawn Johnson. It's a back shoulder fade, and this is where Keyshawn Johnson is really good. He's able to use his big body, shield the defender, and come in with the ball.
Cortez makes it 28-24. So you've got 3 key defensive penalties. The Cowboys have turned 2 of those into 14 points in this second half. And with just over 3 minutes left to play, Dallas is up by 4.
These orders need to get to San Diego on Friday. Any thoughts?
Come on, people. It's 4th and goal with 3 seconds on the clock.
Excuse me, but I think you're being a bit liberal with the football terminology. Just go with FedEx Ground for your everyday shipping. Reliability for less than you think.
FedEx Ground. Reliability for less than you think.
48 degrees today in the Boston area with some light clouds and possible late show.
You guys have to go everywhere with me?
Tom, we're figurative metaphors.
What?
We represent the 5 layers of Visa security that surround you in a pocket of protection.
Hi there.
Like fraud monitoring?
Verified by Visa. Zero liability.
Metaphors.
With Visa, you're protected. Can metaphors pay?
No.
Some desperate housewives keep dirty little secrets, but the husbands of Fox season premiere Sunday are letting it all hang out.
I'm one of those guys who can't wait to get to work in the morning. Like a dairy cow.
Oh, yeah!
We're steamier.
So you're saying I should never have sex before marriage?
That's right, or angels will kill you.
We're sexier.
I would never touch another woman.
I know that.
Except for maybe like at a strip club.
And we're more desperate.
I found a place where I'm needed.
You're needed at home.
And treated like I deserve.
You're needed at home. It's the premieres of The Simpsons, The War at Home, Family Guy, and American Dad. 4 husbands, 1 desperately funny night. Season premiere Sunday starts at 8, 7 Central tonight on Fox.
Keyshawn Johnson with 2 touchdowns today. The last one on 3rd and goal to put Dallas up 28-24. 3:06 remaining. San Diego would like their 3rd big return from Sproles. He's had a 49-yarder, a 46-yarder, and he breaks through here, crosses the 30. He's going to be marked down after a 31-yard return. We look back and reset and figure out how we have arrived at 28-24, the Dallas Cowboys. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman with you, and it was San Diego getting out in front early. LaDainian Tomlinson with a touchdown to tie a record, 13 consecutive games with at least 1 rushing touchdown. But Dallas came back. San Diego tied before the end of the half. And then it's been back and forth here in the second half, but nobody can look at what's transpired and not put a circle around 3 key defensive penalties and an 18-yard punt by Mike Cyphers. Cowboys have taken advantage of those mistakes and lead by 4. Brees fires McCardell. First down San Diego at the Dallas 49.
Well, Dallas is clearly playing coverage. They know that San Diego wants to throw the ball here in this situation, and right here, Drew Brees does a good job of finding the hole in the zone. Keenan McCardell against that zone coverage, sitting it down, and a big completion now to put him at midfield.
27th career 100-yard receiving game for McCardell. Hand off to Tomlinson. LaDainian Tomlinson gets to the outside. A penalty flag comes in, and we could have a hold. Terrence Newman was being held on the edge. Keenan McCardell had his hands on him, and this is going to be a hold against San Diego.
Well, I'd like to take a look at this, because from where I'm at, it looked like a heck of a block by
number
Keenan
87
McCardell.
offense. 10-yard penalty will be still first down.
There's LaDainian Tomlinson getting outside. Well, there's the hold there. Yeah, you kind of wondered, because Terrence Newman never got turned around, and so he had his back to LaDainian Tomlinson as he was going around, and as that angle showed, clearly hanging on to the jersey.
So that brings that 1st and 20 with 2:19. And Marty Schottenheimer just went to the official and said, "You're right."
Yeah, because Marty went to the official right after it happened and was yelling at him about the call, and then he saw it as well.
Make it 1st and 13. With the ball just outside, they're on 46. Brees hangs in there, flips it up, and the pass incomplete. Parker, the intended receiver. And Anthony Henry was involved defensively back there for Dallas.
That was a pretty good idea by Drew Brees. He tried backpedaling and buying as much time as he could. He knew he had pressure. He knew he had to get the ball out, but he's trying to hang on to it as long as he can to give his receiver enough time. Had he have been able to get more on the ball, he had an opportunity, but because he was fading away, he couldn't step into the throw and get enough on it.
Henry almost came away with his 2nd pick of the day. 2nd and 13. Over the middle, wide open for a first down as McCardell, and the ball's out. The Cowboys fall on top of it. The officials get together and say that McCardell was down.
Ruled down by contact. Receiver was ruled down by contact. That is the end.
We are at the 2-minute warning. McCardell was ruled down. No fumble. Chargers still have it. They need to get into the end zone.
Rams down by 10 points, going forward on 4th down. Now Montemaliuna split out wide. So Jackson, the lone back. Bulger takes it himself and gets the first down. Running right over Andy McCardell.
That was beautiful. As soon as they kicked off the ponder, he
still have Jackson in the backfield. But you want to take a look here. Let's look at the line surge. Usually in short yardage situation, the low man wins. So you're trying to get those defensive linemen are trying to get under that offensive line. But as you can see there, the Rams really controlled the offensive line there.
St. Louis drive stays alive with under 5 minutes in San Francisco. Play action to Jackson. Bulger looking for him out of the backfield. Steven Jackson makes the
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck. That's what
And
they did.
And on the opening kickoff from Arizona, Brandon Jacobs took it all the way up to, what, a 45-yard line to him, carrying about 10 Arizona Cardinals on his back?
That one
on the line of scrimmage and comes up and makes a big play for the 49ers.
Andre good wheels. 2nd and 15 for Bulger. Caught by McDonald. Trying to get to the sideline near another first down. Plummer forces him out.
Dallas leading 28-24, 2 minutes remaining, and we go back to that near fumble by McCardell, ruled down by contact, so they couldn't have reviewed it, and it looked like, Troy, with that left elbow hitting down that they got the call right.
Yeah, I agree. The left elbow came down. He still had possession of the ball. Therefore, it would not have been a fumble. I'm a little surprised they didn't let the play go so that it at least could have been reviewed.
2 minutes remaining. San Diego with all 3 of their timeouts left. Brees backpedaling, completes it, gets it to Justin Peel, but he is brought down by Terrence Newman instantly. And a loss of 1.
And San Diego using one of their timeouts.
One of those instances where an incompletion would have been.
First charge timeout. St. Louis.
So this is where it all started.
So what is it going to take to make it back to the Super Bowl?
To see out the game.
Roy,
I gotta go. I gotta use some practice.
Question.
Timeouts left. 2nd down and 11 for the Chargers, down by 4. Brees throws down the sideline, and it's tipped away. Rashae Caldwell, the intended receiver, and Anthony Henry's had a pretty good first day as a Cowboy.
Boy, he sure has, and I know he's claiming that Rashae Caldwell may have had offensive pass interference on him. I thought it was a good call. Anthony Henry just getting enough of the ball there to deflect it, but thought it was a good call by San Diego trying to take a shot because of the aggressiveness that Anthony Henry has been showing. Dallas has elected on the last 2 plays to only bring a 4-man rush. When they've had problems so far, it's when they've brought the blitz.
3rd down and 11.
There it is.
Here's the blitz. Brees in trouble. Gets rid of it to Peel, his tight end. And Justin Peel, playing in place of Antonio Gates, gets it to the 40. And the San Diego Chargers will spend their 2nd timeout. A loss of 3 on that play. And it will be 4th down after the timeout.
Drew Brees just trying to do everything he can. LaDainian Tomlinson trying to slow down Chris Canty, but then you got Keith Davis coming up the middle as well. It was an all-out blitz by the Dallas Cowboy defense. No safety help. One-on-one on the outside, just hoping that the pass rush could get to him before he got the ball out. They didn't sack him, but they were able to disrupt
defense. The reason it
3-4 for Bill Parcells and this Dallas defense is tested here in the season opener in San Diego.
Well, and the hard part right now for San Diego is that they have to be able to pick up 14 yards here in order to keep this game going. And there's a tendency to think that you have to throw the ball beyond the stakes. And
with 2:56 to go.
Well, that's a big play. After coming off a sack, you're able to drop back and throw a ball, get the ball out of bounds. You need to make these kind of plays. The Rams have to. They have
Brees, you can
out on them right now, and now they're
called a timeout and called their entire defense over to the sideline. Our game summary: LaDainian Tomlinson ties that NFL record with 13 straight games with a touchdown run. Drew Bledsoe is over 40,000 passing yards in his career, 10th quarterback to do it. Cardell for San Diego and Keyshawn Johnson of Dallas, each with 2 touchdown catches. The ball is at the 40. The Chargers have to get it inside the Dallas 26 to have a chance in this game.
You know, they brought in Kasim Osgood, the wide receiver. He's got some size to him. I wouldn't be completely surprised if they didn't try. Well, now he's coming off the field. And Justin Peel, the tight end, is going back in. I was going to say Osgood with his size, you think maybe they might try to throw something up and take advantage of it.
4th and 14. Blitz. Brees off his back foot. Up for grabs, and the pass is caught. Eric Parker. And a First and goal for San Diego. Yard completion on 4th and 14.
And what a great job here, not burning your timeout, knowing there's plenty of time on the clock. Huddle up, get a good play call, and save the timeout.
Dallas looks confused defensively. They got their team on the field late. The throw, incomplete. And again, it's Henry.
Joe, let's go back to the big completion there on 4th down. What a great job Drew Brees does. Dropping back again, knowing he's going to get hit in the face. He's got pressure, but he gives his receiver a chance. He throws it up. He knows it's what he's got to do. It's 4th down. The game's on the line. And Eric Parker goes up against Henry and brings it in.
33-yard completion on 4th and 14. Second and goal. Brees throws, end zone, Peel overthrown. 3rd and goal. Keith Davis, who won the safety spot from Lynn Scott and others, was defending the pass for Dallas.
Now what we do know, Joe, is that San Diego has to score the touchdown in order to win this ball game. But we also know that they have a timeout left, so they do not have to throw the ball here on 3rd down. They could run the ball and try to pick up some yards, get it in a distance to where maybe they could run it again on 4th down, or try to get the pass in. But they've got a lot of options here to go with.
On 3rd and goal, Brees flushed out, back across the field, tipped, incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down. Keenan McCardell was the intended receiver, and it's 4th and goal. 30 seconds left.
Well, when you get in this situation and everybody knows what's at stake, so many times it just turns into street ball, and Drew Brees just trying to scramble around and find a guy that's open, and Dat Nguyen does a great job of getting his hands on the ball. It looked like if Dat Nguyen doesn't get his hands on it, that may be right in the pocket of Keenan McCardell.
Here it is, 4th and goal. Brees fires, the pass tipped. Cowboys take over. Aaron Glenn comes away with it.
Take one last shot at it, and again, Drew Brees thinks he sees it. He sets up, he fires it in there, hoping that he's got a hole. Pretty good coverage there. He had an opportunity to maybe come back into the ball. If he works back in, Eric Parker, he may be able to make the catch prior to the DB getting a hand on it. But what a great game and a great performance there down the stretch by this Dallas Cowboys defense to hold them out of the end zone.
So let's say this, Aaron Glenn, the free agent brought in to be the nickelback, gets the interception. The Cowboys take over. They'll start this season 1-0. San Diego uses their final timeout. Meanwhile, Anthony Henry, who got the $10 million bonus, 12 tackles, 5 passes defended, and an interception. And he's a big reason why, along with Drew Bledsoe, another new Cowboy, that there's a smile on the face on opening day of Bill Parcells.
Well, Bill Parcells entered this game feeling that he had upgraded in a lot of areas. One of those
right side, sending all the receivers that way. They come back
and he certainly has earned his money today.
Cowboys had lost their last 5 season openers. One more snap, and these Cowboys will head off the field 1-0. We talk about those 3 Chargers 3rd down penalties. They led to 20 extra plays, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. Combine that with the 18-yard punt by Mike Cyphers. Credit Dallas with taking advantage of the mistakes, but those defensive penalties were too much for the Chargers to overcome. Marty Schottenheimer, Bill Parcells, 1-2 on the active list of victories for head coaches get together at midfield. Bledsoe and the Cowboys, the new look Cowboys, are 1-0. We'll take a break. We may check in on the end of the 49ers Rams when we come back.
The clock says there's just 2 minutes 13 seconds left. The Rams have the 2-minute warning and they have 1 timeout left. You expect an onside kick here?
Well, you never know, Coach Marks. One of the things that they have to do is figure out what they can do. Do you have the confidence in your defense can get that ball back to you? They may feel that way because the 49ers have not been able to get that running game that they desperately needed established. So knowing that, they may just kick it deeper, squib kick here, and hope that their defense can hold up and get them the ball back. But if you're the 49ers, you have to be prepared for anything, especially here. This is a hands team situation, so you never know. So let's see.
Rams line up for the kick. Question is, will Wilkins boot it deep? 49ers obviously expecting an onside kick. They're lined up for it. Wilkins kicks it deep. Otis Amy will take it inside the 10. Waiting on his blocks. Now he cuts it outside, spins, and dives forward to near the 30. Flag on the play. 7 seconds before the 2-minute warning. Then St. Louis has 1 timeout left. Niners have 2.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 36. 10-yard penalty. San Francisco keeps the ball. First down.
'49ers back deep in their own territory. In San Francisco, we welcome those of you who are joining us for the final 2:07 of the 49ers and the Rams. San Francisco, who is 2-14 a season ago, trying to hang on to the lead in the closing 2 minutes in Mike Nolan's head coaching debut in the National Football League. Kevin Barlow with the handoff. That takes us to a 2-minute warning. 28-25 San Francisco. Don't miss the last 2 minutes of this one.
Fox NFL Sundays, sponsored by the new Sprint. Sprint, yes you can.
What's this? It's my new Sprint phone. Email, TV, internet. No one has a more powerful network. Is this the network? Dude, you can't see the network.
I seen it. It's big. Powerful. I'd leave it be.
Took a timeout with 2 seconds before the 2-minute warning. That is the last timeout by the Rams. Why do you take that timeout before the 2-minute warning?
I think one of the things they're trying to conserve as much time as they can, and one of the things that the Rams really feel like is they can control their running game. If you're an offense here, you want to run the ball and get the clock running. You want to stay in bounds, but the 49ers have struggled the entire day of trying to run it. So Mike Mark really feels comfortable with his defense.
Basically buys him an extra down. Handoff again. Barlow, this time a little bit more room, gets to near the 20. Now the 2-minute warning as the clock stops with a minute 58.
2-minute warning.
So we'll tell you again, don't miss the last minute 58 of this one now.
Fox NFL Sundays, sponsored by the new Sprint. Sprint, yes you can.
What's this? It's my new Sprint phone. Email, TV, internet. No one has a more powerful network. Is this the network? Dude, you can't see the network.
I seen it. It's big. Powerful. I'd leave it be.
Sprint together with Nextel. No one has a more powerful network. Sprint, yes you can.
A new way out. The thoroughly redesigned 250 horsepower Saturn Vue. Saturn.
Giants kicker Jay Feely knows that one way to help kids stay on track is to make sure they have a safe place to play. Still, there's a lot more work to be done. Maybe you can give them a hand. Help United Way and the NFL strengthen your community. Volunteer at unitedway.org.
The 49ers have responded to the first-year head coach Mike Nolan. The first game as head coach, 21 unanswered in the second quarter for San Francisco. Rams charging back now to make this a three-point game, but how about the defense? 7 sacks on the day for this 49ers defense.
They're playing outstanding today, but right now they've got to concentrate on how to convert this third down here.
Third down and 5. And now the Rams defense with Leonard Little coming off the edge to make the sack.
Leonard Little, who made a lot of noise early, had some sacks early, and he really wanted to come out and make a play. This time they tried to see if they could trick him. He's going to line up right there. He's coming straight down the line of the scrimmage. He doesn't bite on it. He goes right after the quarterback and makes a big hit for the sack, giving his Rams team an opportunity here. We talked about it. They needed to be able to convert, run the ball. Coach Marks believed that his defense could slow him down in the run situation, and they did it. So now they have an opportunity here.
Clock is running under a minute 20 now as Andy Lee, the second-year punter, stands in his own end zone. Lee gets the punt away. McDonald will catch it right at midfield. Chance for a return on the outside. McDonald cuts it back, gets inside the 40, down at the 38-yard line. 59 seconds remaining for the Rams to try and get in the end zone for the win. Field goal position for a tie.
Well, this defense has asked for it. They've been doing it all day long. They've stepped up to this challenge of this multiple formation and also route running offense that the Rams have, and they've stood up to the challenge, but now is when it counts. What are you going to do when your back is against the wall?
59 seconds. Rams don't have a timeout. Bulger on 1st and 10, but whistle on the play. Flags down.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 97. He was in the neutral zone, causing the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Brian Young flagged after a great day on defense. He has 3 sacks today.
Doing an outstanding job for him. Got a little antsy there, wanted to get up and make a play. One of the things you can take a look at is the secondary has got to keep the Ram receivers in front of them. Stay disciplined here.
Lots of yards, 2 touchdown passes for Mark Bulger. First down and 5 now after the penalty. Firing over the middle. Did Bruce make the catch, or is it picked off? Adams comes away with it. The referee's blowing the whistle, though.
That was a tremendous play by Adams. The ball was a little behind Bruce. Adams made a heck of a play on the ball there.
It's intercepted. Mike Adams gets the interception with 58 seconds left in the game.
That could be the biggest play of the year for the 49ers. Without a doubt. Being able to come up with a big play. What more can you ask for in that type of situation? Your backs are against the wall. You need to make a play. You understand that the Rams are going to come after you. The ball's going to be a little bit behind Bruce here. Bulger's just dropping back, 3-step drop, throws it. Ball's behind him. Tip ball. We're going the other way with it. Bruce is just running a little under route here and put the ball right behind him because that linebacker was sitting there. And they come up with an interception. It's the play of the year, potentially.
Rams are going to challenge. They'll go to the replay. with 52 seconds, and St. Louis in a precarious situation with no timeouts.
Reviewing the play to determine if the pass was caught for an interception.
Obviously, under 2 minutes, this challenge is coming from the officials rather than from the Rams. But the booth review and Mike Martz is just hoping that somehow this comes back to the Rams.
Once again, it's a little behind him. He's cradling the ball there. Looks like he has possession. This is going to be tough to overturn. But the referees are doing the right thing, taking a look. You can see he has the ball and his body is on the ground. The ball's in between. So he has possession of it. I think this play is going to stand.
And it looks to me like Adams has possession of the football as well.
Absolutely. When he's going down, he stayed underneath the football and retained and maintained control of it. So this is going to be tough to turn over.
Mike Adams, the second-year player out of Delaware. They call him Pops, a nickname given to him by his family. And Pops comes up with the biggest defensive play so far in the Mike Nolan era here in San Francisco. He's keeping it loose.
Well, he's definitely a loose coach, and he definitely has his team motivated, and they understand what's expected of them. And they've come out and performed well today, done all the things that he's asked of them.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Interception, San Francisco, first down.
52 seconds away from a dramatic victory to start the Mike Nolan era here in San Francisco. St. Louis doesn't have a timeout. And the 49ers, who won just 2 games in all of 2004. The worst record since 1979. That was Bill Walsh's first year as San Francisco head coach. Mike Nolan, now in his first game as 49ers head coach, is on the edge of pulling out an incredible win.
He's done a great job. I can tell you, anytime you're a team that hadn't had an opportunity, didn't have a lot of success last year, come out and really put out this type of performance is great for the team, the franchise.
The OT presented by Lowe's coming up after this historic win for Mike Nolan and the San Francisco 49ers. That's coming up after we have post-game coverage of San Francisco's 28-25 win over the St. Louis Rams. It's a good day to be Mike Nolan and to be a 49ers fan as San Francisco knocks off St. Louis 28-25 to start 2005. And how about Mike Nolan getting it started here in San Francisco on a winning note?
We talked about him stepping up and being the guy that was going to bring this franchise to prominence, and he has gotten off on a tremendous start today.
We have much more coming up from San Francisco, where the 49ers win 28-25. We'll be right back to San Francisco.
Andrew Jones and the Braves take on Beltran and the Mets. Fox Saturday Baseball. This week, check local listings.
He's the pride of Mexico. He's a 3-time world champion. 2 fighters in one explosive night. Champion Marco Antonio Barrera collides with champion Robbie Peden to unify the super featherweight belts. And Sugar Shane Mosley is back to conquer the welterweight division against undefeated Jose Luis Cruz. Barrera versus Peden, Mosley versus Cruz. Saturday, September 17th, live on DirecTV pay-per-view. Don't miss Parade of Champions, live on DirecTV pay-per-view, channel 123.
The road take care of the Vikings.
No question about it. Dante Culpepper, 5 turnovers, 3 picks, 2 fumbles, all 3 touchdowns by the Bucs were by rookies. Alex Smith, the tight end, as Terry mentioned, and Cadillac Williams, impressive indeed. The Lions, victorious over the Packers. Brett Favre's woes in the dome continues. Javon Walker left the game with the right ankle injury in the second quarter. Packers held without a touchdown for the first time in 78 games. Not a thing of beauty between the Redskins and the Bears, but the Redskins do come away victorious 9-7. Clinton Portis, 121 yards on the ground. Focusing on the NFC North, Howie, I know it's only 1 game into the season, and of course Green Bay has lost, Minnesota has lost, but boy, might things really be topsy-turvy there?
Well, you've got a young Detroit team, particularly on offense and at the wide receiver position. You've got a quarterback who is ready, it appears to be coming of age for that football team. Their defense, I think, has played exceptionally well, particularly today. Green Bay struggled all preseason. We wondered where Minnesota was going to be. We found out today where they are. If today is a reflection of where this NFC North is, Jimmy, it's wide open.
Yeah, and Howie, everybody talks about Randy Moss leaving Minnesota. Don't forget, they lost their very talented offensive coordinator, Scott Linehan. Scott Linehan leaves Minnesota. Minnesota today, 5 turnovers. You know, they lost the football, had 9 penalties. And then Scott Linehan, the talented offensive coordinator, goes to Miami. What do? Score 34 points. So they lost an outstanding coach as well as Randy Moss.
Well, they're happy in Minnesota because they're a family.
Oh, right.
Because they got rid of Randy Moss, a major weapon. But I too see the Lions as emerging there, especially because of the Bears losing their quarterback. So I do today, not surprised that the Lions took care of Green Bay.
Jimmy, you're right. We always have a tendency to focus on the marquee players and to lose a talented coach like that. Big void indeed. All right, folks, we have just started on the OT presented by Lowe's. Up next, we'll focus on the NFC East. Dallas in San Diego to take on last year's playoff team.